trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Put my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules. In this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart and the struggle, we dare.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get back into it. Let's see who's in here. All right, hello, Aquarius Rising, DJ Big Six, above all that drama, Bronze Flat Power God, 504 Nola, Claudette, Nessa G. All right, let's get ready to get into it. I see you, Desmond, Mr. Elevation, We the People. Okay, J Love the Queen. All right, so hey, Emperor Rex, Lillian X, shout out to all of my lower roles and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators, because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, I see you, Reggie, Pretty Wings, Mr. Elevation. Did I say you, Leon, Love Christy? Okay, so let's get into it. We have a lot to cover, beloveds. Hey, Danielle, we have a lot to cover. Now, before I get started, hey, Aquarius Rising, Nessa G, Danielle, okay, Trisha, Juju. So before we get started, let me say thank you to some of my Cash App donators that I forgot to thank previously. Okay, Miss Proper T, okay, Andrea, Danielle, and Rachel, and Roberta. I can't remember if I thanked you. Okay, so thank you all for your contributions. I appreciate you all. All right, your donations are greatly appreciated. Hey, Soul Sister. Now, with that all being said, the nefariousness continues. Let's get ready to get into it right after this brief message from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. Thank you.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, and don't forget that she sells beard oil as well. Now, with that all being said, it looks like the ceasefire is over. Okay, because here's the reports. Iran ceasefire in peril as UAE says it's under attack. So the UAE reported that 4 missiles were fired today toward its territory from Iran, and they say that it was actively engaging with another missile and drone attack. Now, they say there were also fires reported at a fuel facility in the UAE and on ships off its coast. Iran has not claimed responsibility for any of the apparent attacks. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it was somebody by the name of old Satan Yahoo. Okay, because we know how he gets down. Okay, so we'll just wait to hear back from Iran. Okay, if they claim responsibility, then we'll see what it is. But until then, I have questions. Okay, I have questions. Now, why does this matter? Well, they say this would be the first time Iran attacked a Gulf state since the ceasefire was announced nearly a month ago. Now, the U.S. and Iran may now be on the precipice of return to war. Okay, and who would like that better than BB? So the incidents come after President Trump launched a new initiative to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran threatened to respond with force. Now, they go on to say CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper told reporters today that after the U.S. began the operation, Iran fired cruise missiles at Navy ships and drones at commercial vessels. All were engaged, and no U.S. Navy ships or U.S. flagships were hit. That's not what we heard. And quite frankly, for them to be having a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz and any of that is in violation of the ceasefire already. Okay, so I'm sorry, it's true. Now, with that being said, driving the news, they say the UAE's defense ministry said that 3 cruise missiles coming from Iran were intercepted and a third fell into the sea, and told its citizens the loud booms heard inside the country were the result of those aerial interceptions. Now, less than an hour later, the defense ministry said it was responding to another attack. Separately, a government media office in the UAE said a drone had struck the fuel facility there, starting a fire. Now, the UK's Maritime Operations Center also said it had received reports of a fire in the engine room of a cargo vessel off of Dubai and of a second vessel on fire off the coast of UAE, both with unknown causes. Please pay attention. Let's not forget the USS Liberty. Now, it could be Iran, but like I said, I want to wait and see what they say. So the latest, the UAE said the missile and drone attacks had injured 3 people, all of Indian nationality, and said it holds Iran fully responsible for these treacherous attacks and their consequences. All right, well, you all heard that. Like I said, I'll wait to get confirmation from Iran. Okay, that's what I'll wait to do. So anyway, what do y'all think? Mr. Elevation said it was always on fire. Okay. Sosa said, Queen always coming with the updates. Thank you, beloved. I tried. Okay, I tried. Now let's go on um to a couple of these TikToks that I have. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And this virus is out aboard this ship. And I saw people in the comments saying, oh, we're praying for you guys, but please don't let them dock and all of this. Okay, we're going to get into it. But likes up, everyone, please like and share. Hold on, I'm looking for my updates. I have so many receipts. Hold on, give me just a second. Give me just a second. Okay, here we go right here. This is an update from Midas Touch. Hold on. If it's anything I love, is to see Ben Masalas going in on Trump. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And of course, I'll be using an overlay.
Donald Trump's constant taunting of Iran has backfired as a major escalation event just took place. Iran has officially struck a port area in the United Arab Emirates, also after striking a South Korean ship as well as a UAE ship. Now, this follows Donald Trump saying that the United States was entering the Strait of Hormuz to escort ships. CENTCOM posted that 2 U.S.-based ships had been transiting the Strait of Hormuz. This followed Donald Trump's social media post saying that the U.S. Navy was going to head in and escort ships, to which some members of the United States military at a leadership level tried to pull those statements back and say, no, we're just going to be providing some guidance and logistical support to ships already in the Strait of Hormuz to help coordinate when the Strait of Hormuz opens. According to Iran, they saw certain moves that were happening in the Strait of Hormuz that signaled that the U.S. was working with the United Arab Emirates to bring some of these ships out of the Strait of Hormuz. And then the UAE took action by striking this port city, which I'll talk about in a second. It holds a lot of significance, and I'll explain why. And also it hit 2 ships that Iran said was trying to exit the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this specific port city that was just struck by Iran is the Fujairah port. You see it right here on fire. There's no dispute that this port was struck, and it's been the only remaining UAE oil export outlet, an endpoint of a pipeline that the UAE built to bypass the Strait of Hormuz. And so Iran striking this area so that you couldn't have the oil bypass the Strait of Hormuz. Here's additional photos of that port in Fujairah on fire. There's also a petrochemical plant there as well. So as I noted at the outset, the South Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed to their news agency that a South Korean vessel was struck in the Strait of Hormuz. Its engine room on the port, the left side of the ship, on fire. Fortunately, no casualties there. Similarly, the United Arab Emirates confirmed that one of its ships associated with its ANDOC tankers, ANDOC, ANDOC, that's their big, state-run kind of oil company. Their tanker was hit as well. And Iran said that these ships were working with the U.S. in order to test Iran's control over the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran fired on those ships, blocked it. There are no ships leaving the Strait of Hormuz right now, and there's also no indication of any U.S. Navy activity in the Strait of Hormuz, but that port city of Fujairah is burning. Major escalation, and now we're going to see if the war with respect to open hostilities has resumed. Donald.
Okay, I blame Trump for the whole thing. Okay, I clearly blame Trump for the whole thing. Now, Danielle says, Queen, I love how you and Lisa Cabrera keep us updated with everything that's going on. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. You know, that's my dear sister. Now, with that all being said, Reggie, I'm so glad you didn't catch it, beloved. You said someone at your job got it. I am so glad you didn't catch it because that is very dangerous. We're going to get into that in a minute, okay? Shout out to you. All right, now listen to this. Let's go to Jink. All right, from Young Turks. Hold on, beloveds. Let me share my screen.
War is back on. We tried to break the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. That failed utterly. Iran says they hit one of our ships. Certainly ships have been hit. We're denying it, but we're a bunch of liars. Our government is. Almost everything that Trump has said about this war has turned out to be a lie. And so he says, oh, no, don't worry. We didn't get hit. We very likely did. Then Iran hit UAE's oil storage facilities. And so now the war is back to expanding. If you don't know, I did a longer video on YouTube on the Young Turks channel over the weekend explaining how Iran had a wonderful peace offer. Definitely should have taken it. They could never get nuclear weapons if we took that offer. I think that's why the Israelis panicked and made Trump attack immediately, restart the war immediately, because we might have accidentally gotten to peace, and that's the very last thing Israel wants. Tonight on the Young Turks on YouTube at 6 o'clock Eastern, we'll have all the details of this disaster.
It is disastrous. Okay, it is disastrous at the end of the day. And he told no lies about BB, okay? No lies about BB at all whatsoever. All right.
Who they were lying. Listen, there's war in the Strait of Hormuz. The Battle of Hormuz continues. Here's what happened. Over the weekend, Trump came up with this Operation Freedom, which Trump said he will use the U.S. Navy to escort ships, right, who are stuck in the Strait of Hormuz in the Persian Gulf, out of the Persian Gulf, okay? That's what Trump said. He dubbed it Operation Freedom. Trump said because of the humanitarian crisis that some countries are in, those ships need to get out of the Strait of Hormuz. I wonder who created that humanitarian crisis. We're going to get back to that. However, Trump said the U.S. military sank 7 Iranian IRGC small fast boats, right? Remember we spoke about the fast boats earlier. Trump said it was 7. Other reports are saying it's 6. In any case, it is confirmed that a number of Iran IRGC small fast boats, right, were destroyed by the United States military. U.S. military says the Iran were using drones and small fast boats to attack and come towards putting the U.S. Navy in danger, right? So they attacked them using Seahawk helicopters and Apache helicopters. You think what I'm saying?
Yeah, we did what you're saying, but we don't need all those details, but thanks. Okay, he was giving us all the whole breakdown, telling us what all they use and everything. Look at Nene all in my business. Talking about Queen must be talking to her man. Why are you trying to read the Queen's lips? Honey, y'all are so nosy. I'm just have to cover my mouth like that because y'all just be all up in it. Okay, all in the Kool-Aid and don't even know the flavors. Okay, so hold on. Let me go to this next clip. I like this lady here. She be going in. Please pay attention. Nosy butts.
Told y'all asses to back the fuck out of the strait. The UAE seemed to be moving around very well, and they struck their ass with a drone. There goes more fucking oil. The ceasefire is over, y'all. According to CBS, the U.S. military said 2 commercial vessels safely transited the strait amid efforts to restore transit for commercial shipping, which means once again they were going through that shit without permission. Drones also hit an oil industry zone, and 3 Indian nationals were mildly injured, but they were taken to the hospital. Now, if nobody's not taking Iran seriously, they should be taken seriously now. They said no fucking movement through the strait. Y'all should have listened to them. And now the proposal for a ceasefire to end the war, that shit ain't even on the table no more. And with that, I think Wigs R Us is going to try to cross over Congress and keep fighting this war without any permission. I do think the whole Wigs R Us family is making millions off of this fight. The stock market is going up and down. They have money in those drones. They're killing the midterms for Republicans. That's why they're trying to steal all these seats by redistricting. All in all, the Met Gala's tonight. Let's see how y'all protest Jeff Bezos.
Sit down somewhere. Okay, now she clearly went in. Now let's go to what Professor Morandi has to say about it all.
Expecting a major attack on Iran, and the United States has gathered forces in the Emirates, in Kuwait, in Bahrain, and then there's Jordan. The Israeli regime is preparing. So we are expecting an imminent assault. The Iranians are, from my understanding, currently carrying out limited strikes on the Emirates to make it more difficult for this assault to take place. The Emirates is probably doing the most against Iran, as it has been doing for many years. The Iranians have really forgiven these countries too many times. Since the ceasefire, we see a huge buildup of U.S. assets in these countries, including a lot of weapon systems for a ground invasion, which, as I said, Iran believes to be. So we are where we are. Iran has also been preparing. And I think that if a war begins, Brian, I think you're going to see a global economic depression is almost assured. Here they're expecting.
It's definitely going to be a global economic depression. Okay, I've been telling you all that it's coming. So please make sure you're ready and prepared. It's all getting real bad out here. Have y'all seen the prices of things? Have y'all seen the prices? And you know, they say the Dow has dropped, of course. Hold on, let's go to that clip. Sosa said Iran standing on business and purpose. Okay, they're not playing any games.
Iran still officially in a ceasefire, but with missiles and drones crisscrossing the region again today. U.S. stocks fell, the Dow dropping more than 500 points. That's more than 1%. And oil prices up more than 5% to around $114 a barrel. But two U.S. cargo ships that have been trapped for months in the war zone made it out today, according to officials, raising hopes that more could follow. Here's senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams with more tonight from Tel Aviv.
We did a little detour, and it's working out very nicely.
As the U.S. military works to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, President Trump said today that the conflict with Iran is going very well. U.S. Central Command said the military intercepted cruise missiles and drones launched by Iran to try to disrupt the mission, with no American warships or other U.S.-flagged vessels hit. The president said the U.S. struck 7 Iranian military speedboats. As usual, Iran gave a different version of events, denying that any commercial ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz. The country's state media claimed that this video shows the Iranian Navy firing warning shots at American destroyers, though we cannot verify it. On social media yesterday, Trump called the initiative to move ships through the Strait of Hormuz a humanitarian gesture, with around 2,000 ships stranded and food on board some of them running short. But ending the Iranian blockade would also strip Iran's leaders of their most powerful bargaining chip. That's helpful to a president who's under pressure to end the conflict.
So ever since the war started, we have witnessed maybe more than 200 missiles over our head.
Rahman Kapoor is the captain of an oil tanker stranded in the Persian Gulf since the war began in February.
Are you worried that this actually may cause the ceasefire to collapse?
Yes, anything could go wrong any time.
There are fears in this region that the fragile ceasefire between the US and Iran could now crumble. The United Arab Emirates, an American ally, said it was targeted by Iran today, with a drone strike injuring 3 people and sparking a fire at an oil port. Tony.
Holly Williams for us in Tel Aviv. Holly, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's go to the prices because clearly they're high as I don't know what.
Meat department here in Publix, but I'm a little astounded. 1 pound, look, 1 pound of meat, almost $13. That's over $3 a quarter pounder. Wait. So I'm in the meat department here in Publix.
Y'all see that? Meat is sky high, guys. Okay, what do y'all have to say about any of it? I just find it all so interesting. So, Sister said, Queen saw this coming 5 or 6 years ago and warned loyal royals and bush watchers to prepare. Bushwatchers, beloved. They said it warned loyal royal and bushwatchers to prepare. So you are something else. Now that was funny, okay? I absolutely did. As a matter of fact, it was Thanksgiving Day of 2020. I remember because it was Thanksgiving, and the title of the video was "We're Facing Gloom and Doom," but people are here celebrating BS. Okay. That was hilarious. Not the bushwatchers. Let me continue. Okay, so now that all being said, listen to this. This man is mad as hell, honey. This MAGA man is fired up and ready to go because he says that he earned these phones. I didn't even know Trump had phones. Okay, what is he not selling? Okay, he's got Bibles, he's got those ugly arse gold sneakers, and what else? Dreams, pipe dreams, that is, and sells some MAGA. So this man says he ordered some phones for he and his sons, and they have never come, and he wants his money back. Honey, I don't know why anybody would buy phones from Trump, okay, or any of his family.
Trump supporter here. This goes out to Don Jr. and Eric. Where the fuck's my phones? I ordered 4 gold Trump phones in the summer. Told they're going to be the best. Talked my son into ordering some. We heard they're going to come out in September. Yeah, we can fucking wait. September rolls around. No, it's going to be November. No, it's going to be the end of the year. They actually stopped taking orders for them in November. Now we can't get any fucking updates on them. Give me my fucking phones or give me my money back.
Only a Trump supporter is IQ deficient enough to look at Donald Trump's long track record of fraudulent business practices and then go put a $100 deposit down on his T1 phone that hasn't even been manufactured yet. 590,000 individuals put $100 of their hard-earned money down on these phones. And Donald Trump said, oh, we'll have it done in 2 months. And he said, oh, it'll be another 2 months. And then those 2 months turned into an updated clause on his, the deposit clause on his website, April 6th, last month, that states just because you put a $100 deposit down on this phone doesn't mean it'll ever be manufactured or that you will ever get it. So effectively, Donald Trump and his sons just stole $60 million from their own supporters. That's right. And you want to know what's even more IQ deficient? Is these people will continue to support him. For crying out loud, the man still has outstanding balances to venues he rented during his campaign rallies, okay? You looked at that and said it was a good idea. I got news for you. You'll get those T1 phones the same day you get your fucking Doge checks. That's never. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follower if you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, no lies detected, honey. You tell them. Okay, she said that's never. Okay, I'm here for it. That's what MAGA gets. Okay, how lame could you be sitting there spending your money on bullshit that Trump doesn't even have? Haven't they seen all of his failed businesses? Okay, how he scammed people with that nefarious Trump University? Please. All right, it is all crazy, but let me continue. Let me continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, this poor man right here, this man is aboard the ship. He posted this video saying all we want is to feel safe. This is so sad, okay? This is all so sad. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
On board the MV Hontivirus. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it and that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now. I am currently on board the MV Hontivirus, and what's happening right now is very...
That's just hard, honey. I'm praying for those people. Y'all should be praying for them too. This is drastic. Okay, you know, they say this comes from rodents and whatnot. And this is a very rare virus, but it's all scary. Can you imagine being aboard a ship and 3 people already deceased from it and you don't know who's next? It's all scary.
Virus is a virus transmitted mainly from rodents to humans.
It's the same rare disease that is blamed on the death of Betsy Arakawa, the wife of late actor Gene Hackman, last year. Dr. Kavita Patel says symptoms can take days to appear.
It first manifests with like a cough or shortness of breath or something that's pulmonary, sometimes a fast heart rate, often with a fever. And as the virus kind of gets attack of the body, you can see other symptoms, including sepsis.
The World Health Organization says that while rare, hantavirus may spread between people.
Hantivirus is a virus transmitted mainly from rodents to humans.
It's the same rare disease that is blamed on the
I didn't know that's what Gene Hackman's wife passed away from when they found her and they're deceased. Okay, I did not. I don't remember that. This is all scary, but hold on, it's something even worse. Where do y'all see this?
On a cruise ship in the Atlantic, and 3 more are now fighting for their lives. And the suspected killer is a virus you catch by breathing called Hantivirus, and rodents are known to be the main vector. And we don't even have to touch them to get sick, because we could just get sick by breathing in the air that's around their dried droppings or their dried urine, which then causes fever, coughing, flu-like symptoms, and then if it gets worse, failure of the hearts, of the lungs, and of the kidneys. And there are 2 strains of hantavirus. One strain isn't known to spread from person to person, and this is the one that killed the wife of actor Gene Hackman earlier last year. But there is a second strain called the Andes virus, and this is found in South America. And this one can spread between people, which is why everyone is watching what's happening right now, because that cruise ship, the MV Hondius, sailed from Argentina about 3 weeks ago. It's now anchored off the coast of Cape Verde, which is an island country to the west of the main African continent. Now, as for treatment, it's not treatable. Doctors treat the symptoms, but there is no cure. And about 1 in 3 people die, potentially 1 in 2 people die, looking at the numbers. The World Health Organization says to not panic, though, and that the risk to the public is still low, and that there's no need for travel restrictions, and that the investigation is still ongoing. But as for trying to avoid the hantavirus ourselves, experts say that the first thing is to get rid of rodents if you see them. Also, if you see their dried droppings, don't sweep them up or don't vacuum them, because those particles could then go into the air.
Oh, Lord, this is all scary. Okay, this is all scary, but hold on, it gets even worse. Now, listen to this. This woman said that she's currently in the hospital and she has a new COVID, okay? Let's get into it.
I need all y'all to mask up. This ain't no joke. This ain't no laughing matter. I need all y'all to put on y'all masks. What they don't want y'all to know is there are different strands of coronavirus out here. That's killing us off. And it's a silent killer. I didn't know I had it. Cause I came to the hospital yesterday. And they said I had pneumonia again. When I got here this morning, they said, Miss Parkman, the CDC is on the way to see you. We had to send out for the CDC. I say, what y'all calling the CDC for? Y'all, there is a strand of coronavirus here. I am the first person in the United States. The news people have been here. This is not a joke, y'all. When I tell y'all, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. These people told me I have a strain of coronavirus that the public don't know about. Because our president has took us from the World Trade Organization, and now the CDC is here trying to figure out what they can do to get me back together. My heart rate right now is 144. I was no more oxygen.
Lord, honey, this is all scary and nefarious, honey. Did y'all hear what she said? She said the CDC is on the way to see her. Okay, and then saying that Trump, the reason people don't know about it is because Trump took us out of the World Health Organization. So what I heard, when I saw her video, you know I go and fact check these TikToks. And just as sure as I'm sitting here, there is a new stupid 19 variant nicknamed Cicada, or BA3.2. It's spreading in the U.S. and was detected in wastewater and 25 states in early April of 2026. While heavily mutated, it currently shows no signs of increased severity, but its high mutation rate might evade some prior immunity. Okay, so now they got another jab coming out. Is that what they're trying to say? Leading to concerns of a potential summer surge. Honey, let me tell y'all something. Baby, I'm about to get the hell up out of here, okay, with a quickness. Now, goes on to say, initially detected in travelers in early 2025, BA3.2 has shown rapid growth in wastewater samples, rising significantly from March to April of 2026. Now, here are the key features. It is heavily mutated. It is a heavily mutated Omicron subvariant containing roughly 70 to 75 mutations in its spiked protein, which may allow it to escape immunity. Do y'all hear this? Severity and symptoms. And just remember, you heard it here first, okay? Please pay attention. I'm giving y'all life-saving information, potentially. Now, despite the mutations, there is no evidence that BA3.2 causes more severe disease or higher death rates, with symptoms appearing similar to previous stupid 19 strains. Now, venom effectiveness. They say while the variant might not be as well recognized by existing antibodies, or venoms are believed to remain effective at preventing severe disease. Now, the strand has been prevalent in parts of Europe and was first identified globally in South Africa. They say experts advise staying up to date with your venom, particularly for high-risk groups. And then they say layer protection. Now, because of the rise, experts recommend utilizing a layered approach, improve ventilation, washing hands, and wearing masks in crowded, poorly ventilated areas. The situation is evolving, but for the most accurate and up-to-date information, please refer to the CDC Stupid 19 data tracker. This is all crazy. Do y'all hear this? I mean, this is all we need. Okay, this is all we need at the end of the day. Damn, we can't catch a break. First of all, Trump's messing up the economy with his proxy war. Gas prices sky high. Groceries are off the chain. And now we have to worry about Hantivirus and a whole new strain of stupid 19. Do y'all hear this bullshit? I blame Trump for all of it. I blame him for every bit of it, okay? Now, with that all being said, some of these receipts, I'm going to give them to y'all tomorrow, because y'all not about to have me on here all day. Okay, I'm hungry, and I haven't had a bite to eat all day. Literally. Okay, so with that all being said, let's go. We're going to talk about Stefon Diggs. We're going to look at some clips from his trial. But let's go to Obama, because I'm sorry, President Obama, what were you stuttering so hard for? Okay, he's sitting up here stuttering and stammering. I have never seen President Obama, who is such an eloquent speaker, okay, such a gifted orator. I've literally never seen him to the point that he can barely speak. I mean, he was almost left speechless. Then had the nerve to gaslight and deflect, talking about he's not the president. What does you being the president or not have to do with you answering the question that the lady asked? Call it what it is. Okay, tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, honey, these people are scared. I want y'all to pay attention. Where's your backbone?
But here's the
what you struggling
I'm happy
with?
to talk about this if it's a part of the question.
Simple question:
But
Gaza genocide.
Again, some rules around how we talk
about genocide.
Did this Negro say it's rules around how we talk? Okay, call it what it is and stop playing games. He is so scared. Do y'all hear this? But let's continue.
Yes, there are disasters and catastrophes everywhere, sir.
Guys, just undermine it.
Please.
Yeah, the only reason Barack Obama is stuttering and stammering there is because he doesn't want to say Gaza is a genocide. He couldn't gather his thoughts quickly enough to this question, and so pivots to, well, there are rules to talking about genocide. I mean, this is freaking genocide, and we've all had almost 3 years. By now, if anybody asks you this question, you should have a freaking straightforward answer. It's a yes or a freaking no. And Obama is a trained lawyer. He knows and should know what genocide is. So if he can't even call out Gaza as a genocide, you know he's in the pockets of the Zionists. You know he's supporting the oppressor and the aggressor because there's no other reason for it. None whatsoever. And what do you mean? The catastrophes and disasters. I'm so disappointed by this performance and this response. What do you mean? This is a Holocaust we are all witnessing. A Zionist Holocaust. Live streamed into our devices on a daily basis. It's not.
And she was going all in. But let me just tell y'all something. Obama, please sit down somewhere. Okay, that was just exhausting to watch. Okay, now Juju just text me that Spirit Airlines is gone. I heard they were going days ago, beloved. We can talk about it, but guess what? I'm glad they're gone. I don't fly Spirit Airlines. I flew Spirit Airlines one time and almost ended up in the spiritual realm. Okay, please pay attention. And I don't fool with Spirit Airlines. Okay. All right, I think I told you all that time I took Spirit Airlines to Florida. Excuse me. And then on the way back, it was thundering and lightning, and the whole plane was shaking, and it almost literally crashed. Okay, we had to detour and all of that because of the weather. By the time the plane actually landed, we were all clapping for the pilot that we made it out alive, honey. After that, I never rode Spirit again, so I couldn't care if they are gone. I don't miss them. Okay, please. They were the cheapest, and then for a reason. All right, please miss me with it. Okay, I'm sorry, but who? But let's go to it. Paul said, you crazy queen. I'm not crazy, beloved. I'm being so serious. Okay? Fly Spirit if you want to, at your own peril. Why y'all think it's called Spirit? That's why it was called Spirit in the first place, because they're about to take you to the spiritual realm, and they knew it, in my opinion. All right? So no for me.
Hi, I'm Bobby Suarez with SellToBobby.com.
Let me let these ads pass, but I find it all so interesting. Reggie said, a Spirit is 40 years old, a new paint job, a bankruptcy, they'll be back. Please, I still won't be flying, honey. If that's all they're going to do is change the paint and not fix the other issues, I'll pass, okay? I will pass. And I'd rather ride Frontier than Spirit any day. Okay, but anywho, that all being said, as a matter of fact, why don't all y'all donate so I can get me a brand new private jet? Okay, for $65 million, like Creflo Dollar. Creflo Dollar got his whole congregation to give him money for a new private jet. Okay, don't y'all find that so interesting? And I know darn well I do way more for you all than he does for his congregation. Please. Miss me with it. But let me continue.
Let's get right to local 10's Christina Vasquez live in Hollywood tonight to kick off our team coverage. Christina.
Remember, this company is Broward based, so the impact here is big. We are talking about thousands of workers, and that means that this shutdown will certainly trickle down to our local job market.
We're looking for help.
Jacqueline Bryce, a now out-of-work Spirit Airlines flight attendant,
I really love the job and I enjoy doing it.
is one of many.
Give offer us jobs. We have our families, children, grandchildren, bills, everything is on the table.
Who came to Career Source Broward in Hollywood and hopes the workforce agency can help connect her to job opportunities.
I think it's a great idea.
Now that the low-cost carrier she was working for went belly up.
We went to work one day and then we were out of work the next.
There's no severance. Our insurance, everything was cut off on May 2nd.
Earlier today, some of Spirit's laid-off workers fought back tears as they gathered outside company headquarters in Dania Beach.
It wasn't until midnight on Friday night that we learned, when we see the board with no flights for the next day, that we were done for that day.
The collapse followed a succession of macroeconomic factors, increasing competition, a failed merger 2 years ago, filing for bankruptcy in 2024, again in 2025. Then came the Iran conflict, rising jet fuel prices, leading to the sudden shutdown after failing to secure a last-minute federal bailout deal.
There's a lot of people that are going to struggle, and there's no way around that. There's just not enough jobs in this industry for the type of work that we do.
Which is why the focus here was also on training opportunities for those who perhaps want to transition to a new career.
It's crazy. We have become like family, and I'm gonna miss it so much. I'm really sad about it.
So many of these workers are neighbors in our South Florida communities. You know, hearing from them, it is difficult to imagine what they're going through, just like that in a flash, losing their job. The total impact here, when you look company-wide, 17,000 workers. Reporting live for you tonight, I'm Christina Vasquez, Local 10 News.
Well, I sure hate that those people lost their jobs. I hate that, especially in today's economy. That's really sad. But anywho, hold on, beloveds. Let me see something real quick. But I will say this, one thing I can say about Spirit, now I'm clowning them, but since launching in 1992, the airline never recorded a fatal crash, a rare milestone in commercial aviation. Over the years, millions of passengers flew on its bright yellow planes across the U.S., Caribbean, and Latin America. Okay, well, shout out to them for that. I guess they aren't as bad as I thought. Okay, Juju just told me that, so I had to fact check him. All right, so now with that all being said, I'm sorry those people lost their jobs. Nobody needs to be losing their jobs, at this day and age, or right now with all the stuff we're going through. But let's talk about Kid Cudi, because they said that Kid Cudi fired MIA from the tour because they were down there in Texas, and she said something about illegal immigrants or whatever, so he let her go.
The rapper just fired an artist from his tour after she made highly offensive and racist remarks against immigrants to open one of his shows in Texas. So apparently at one of his shows in Dallas, the artist MIA said the following during her opening monologue. Quote, "I've been canceled for many reasons. I never thought I would be canceled for being a brown Republican voter." And apparently she has a song called Illegal, which she said is like, quote, "half the people here," which triggered a round of boos from the audience. So apparently Kid Cudi was informed about MIA's deranged rant at his concert, and so this morning he put out a statement announcing that he has fired her from his tour, saying, quote, "MIA is no longer on this tour. I told my management to send a notice to her team before we started the tour that I did not want anything offensive at my shows, ... This to me is very disappointing, and I won't have someone on my tour making offensive remarks that upsets my fan base." I just love the second Kid Cudi heard that MIA had said some crazy stuff like that at his concert, he dropped her.
Well, he should have, because what was she even thinking, girl? And you're down there with all those immigrants and going to say something so silly. Anyway, she messed it up for herself. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth shut. Okay. Cheryl says, "Thank you for all you do, Queen." Well, thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. All right, Mr. Elevation just gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, beloved, for your kind generosity. All right, you all shout out Mr. Elevation. It's always considered when people buy memberships for others, okay? Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, now, let me just tell y'all how the folk have been out here just hating on Black folk. Don't know why everybody wants to go in on us, and what did we do to these people? We didn't do anything to him. Okay, I'm so glad you asked. Nothing. That's the answer. We didn't do anything. Okay. And then this one little dude, he was talking greasy, and then now he's removed his video. But of course, everybody already shared it. I don't even know why he was concerned. This is him right here. Okay, this is him right here. Hold on. Before I show you, before I show you this video, let me show you the original one. Where, like I said, he removed it. And if you ask me, I watched several of his videos, and in my opinion, he's just somebody who basically wants to he's like a person who likes to start chaos and confusion. Okay, because all the stuff that he says online, I've not seen him say anything nice. He's either talking about Black folks specifically or talking about women's rights and stuff. Why is he even worried about women's rights? Talking about people should have surrogates and all this stuff. Like, why is he even thinking about that? And he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, because in one of his clips, he was talking about how white people invented everything, how white people built this country. First of all, the country was already built. And second of all, the work that was done was not done by them. They had slaves, our ancestors. So sit down. Then he's talking about they invented everything. Yeah, they invented the patent office, okay? Please.
Okay, here we go. I shouldn't be surprised, because this is the same culture that promotes and celebrates gang violence and drug money and degeneracy and having 18 different baby mamas. But what the hell are we doing, guys? This is like the fourth video like this that I've seen, and I'm so confused. Like, what are we celebrating? What did they accomplish? Black people, for some reason, tend to have this idea that they should be celebrated simply for existing. I mean, you see it when you go to, like, amusement parks.
Hello, everybody. This is Jay Sims, Army veteran, also retired detective. I wanted to hop on this prom situation, especially the key things about what he said. You know, coming from my perspective, yeah, it is a celebration, and why not go all the way out? You know, nobody's crying about King Charles, you know, Queen Elizabeth when they had their functions. So why not have the same kind of, if you can afford it, do it. Because this is an achievement for Black people, Black male or female, to graduate at this point at the time, especially for Black males who sometimes don't even make it out of high school because they've been slayed in the street, etc., etc. Now, let's talk about, when you talk about drug money, all these other things, guess what? The United States and other governments, people higher up the chain, initiate all that heroin, everything else that, God, you know, that basically set America back, the cocaine industry, everything. So for him to say that, he needed to know his history and find out who the real key players are and who they are today. And I'm going to talk again about the situation as him saying what he wanted to say, which he has no context. Because he probably didn't go to probably prom or can't afford prom in the way that they did. Don't hate on them. At the end of the day, do you and leave other people alone. That's the only thing I can say. What do y'all feel about this in the comments? I know other people did a few similar posts, but you know.
Let me tell you what I feel about it. I feel like, why is he worried? I feel like however Black people choose to celebrate their proms, why is Brad concerned? Oh, I know why, because he's a whole hater. He's mad because a young man was decked out and holding a handful of money. It's his money to hold. Okay, why are they always so pressed about us? And here's another couple of his videos. He didn't say anything on these videos. He just had music. Mind you, Black people's music. I had to delete it, you know, because of the copyrights or whatever, and add my own. But nonetheless, look at what he wrote.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading no light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around.
Just a snowflake. Okay, see how he tried to play the victim to some stuff that he started? No, black people, listen, collectively, black people do not get on any apps, on any social media platforms, just randomly going after white people or any other race. We respond to what people say about us. We don't just get on there and start going in on them. So that's everybody always worried about us. Oh, that's right, because they be hating on us. That's just what it is. And the thing I find so interesting is that he said after he posted that video, he started getting DMs, threats in his DMs. He's a lie. He's a lie. If he really got threats in his DMs, you don't think he would have posted them so we could see? You don't think he would have reported the people to TikTok? Okay, reported them to the police. You can get arrested for that. It's called cyberbullying, and it's also called terroristic threats. So nobody threatened him, and I told him, I left him a comment. I told him, if anybody threatened you, it was somebody who looks just like you with a fake account, because black people are not that pressed about what you said. We've heard a whole lot worse and then threaten people, so sit down somewhere. He's just lying, okay? That's what he's doing. He's just pathetic. But here's the reason that I even went and found his video, because this other guy that I followed was talking about it. Okay, he was just saying how some people like him are out here hating on black folk.
Really starting to piss me off. And I feel like it should piss every other motherfucker on this app off as well. There are men going around right now on TikTok that unfortunately just so happen to, of course, look like me, just a little more, actually a lot more, that are stitching videos of young black men celebrating, going to dances, proms, etc., and their setups. Do keep in mind, these families have, of course, done nothing to the people who are stitching their videos. In their videos, they're happy, they're celebrating. Of course, they got some bougie setup. They look dope as fuck. But the thing that stands out the most amongst these stitched videos, right, is how the people that, once again, unfortunately look like me, feel so comfortable talking about how they don't know how these you-know-what kind of people, because they're very specific when it comes to describing them. I'm still baffled at that, because you probably wouldn't say that shit out in public. They're confused how these people and these kids have a lot of money. And that just sounds like insecurity to me. Shouldn't you be supporting their success, especially when it's independently gained? You shouldn't even be having this conversation, people. We're in 2026. Why does racism even still fucking exist? If you see a video like that, point it the fuck out. Don't stay quiet. There's a
I ain't out here just trying to clout chase off for black folk. But hold on, there's more. Hold on. Now listen to this one right here. I don't know where he was going with it or why he was even pressed. But like I said, some people are just obsessed with us, okay? Can't help themselves.
That African people have culture. You don't. In the 1700s, most of your languages didn't even have 2,000 words, and none of you ever wrote it down. The white people had to come and write your languages down for you. If you have less than 2,000 words to describe everything in life, you don't really have a culture.
Can we just take in the audacity of Edgar Allan Poe here trying to claim cultural superiority over a continent that has 54 countries and is the literal birthplace of humanity? Boop, boop, boop. This is a blatantly racist pseudoscientific take, and anybody with a quarter of a brain knew that the moment this troglodyte started to speak. His entire premise is attempting to frame Africans and black people as inferior the same way that colonial powers did to justify slavery and empire. Africa is the most linguistically diverse place on earth, with thousands of languages and complex grammar systems comparable to any language in Europe. This bullshit claim that Africans couldn't write down their language is simply proof that his education is literally as deep as a fucking 4chan rabbit hole. African societies developed writing systems and scholarship long before the colonial powers arrived. Scholars in West Africa were producing manuscripts on astronomy, mathematics, law, medicine, and philosophy from roughly about the 1300s to the 1600s. Look, I'm not sure where fucking Timu Nikki Six got the idea that he or people like him are contributing anything to the greater good. Regardless of the contributions of Western culture, you personally are not contributing anything to them. You are a nobody broadcasting incel rage into the void while taking credit for things that you personally had nothing to do with. Just to address the 2,000-word language claim, no basis in reality. Linguists have never discovered a human language with only a few thousand words. Myth comes from colonial missionaries who wrote down small word lists when they would first encounter African languages, and they pretended like those lists represented the entire language. None of this is history. None of your arguments are worth listening to. Mistaken being loud and confident for being intelligent.
Okay, and like he said, the irony is that he fell for the propaganda. Okay, but hold on. This is all crazy. I mean, just be so concerned about black folk.
People said that I was too hateful or opinionated in my last video talking about some of the issues with.
It's 4 a.m. and I have time because I can't sleep. You don't get to talk about Black America when your own community is in fucking shambles. I go into your neighborhoods, I go into your homes in your rural areas, and the white community is up shit quick without a path. You want to talk about crime? Crime is based off of proximity. So there's black on black crime, there's also white on white crime. White men are responsible for 60% of the crime against other white people. 68% of the assaults against white women.
Okay, so she gave all the stats, and I've given them to you all 1,000 times. At the end of the day, I find it interesting, okay, that somebody that's a descendant of the most violent people ever has the audacity, dare I say, to try to go in about us being violent. Please sit down somewhere, okay? Who have we colonized, okay? How many hate groups do we have, or have we ever? Please sit down somewhere, sir. Okay, who are we oppressing? Please, make it all make sense.
It's clear that we are watching the fall of the American empire in real time. And there is a stark difference in the way that the white community is responding and how the black community is responding. The black community en masse has completely withdrawn. They fought, they campaigned, they warned us, and we chose the orange man anyway, and they're out. The white community, on the other hand, is fighting. Those of us who aren't under Trump's spell. And there is this real sentiment that if we can just get Trump out of the way, then we can all get back to normal. But the thing is, that's not what God is doing. And I'm not a nihilist, but we're missing the point. The point is this white supremacist system has wreaked enough havoc. Enough. And God is judging it. And the fact that we are clinging so hard to it makes me wonder, what does the black community see that we don't, that's allowing them to totally let go right now? So it's clear that we are watching the fall of the American empire in real time.
Okay, we're not surprised by anything that happens because we've seen it all before. We've seen it all before, but hold on. Because this little white boy who's probably about 10 years old has way more sense than Brad ever could. Okay, while he's sitting here getting mad about black teenagers going to prom, listen to this little kid right here, bless his heart.
New generation is so soft, says the same people who were crying 50 years ago over having to share a water fountain with a black person. Oh, this new generation.
Okay, he told them, right? Same ones were crying over a water fountain. But at the end of the day, how you know they're nonsensical, racist people, that is, in general? Because they didn't want black people drinking from their fountains, but had no problem with black women breastfeeding their babies so they could get the more nutritious milk that comes from black women because of the melanin. Like, please. Okay, make it all make sense. I'm sure they couldn't. I'm so sure they could not. Okay, please. Now, with that all being said, we're going to get into Stefon Diggs in a minute, but I want you all to see this Karen. I don't know what her problem is, but she's out here raising holy hell and all mad. And then also there's a report of a white man who killed a black person who was a FedEx driver. Okay, just because he was driving his truck, clearly. Hold on. Do y'all remember that guy? Hold on. Do y'all remember the guy that was going around calling black people the N-word? I think he was in Tennessee. Well, some stuff came out on him, and it's not looking so great. Okay, now I see why he was trying to act so macho, like he was so big and bad. Now it all makes sense. Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
I don't give a shit. Take a fucking picture, you scumbag piece of shit. Why can't you give me your boss's phone number? Why can't you? You don't have a boss.
No. Can I
you
speak?
don't have. You don't have an
You want to let me speak? I can't give you the package because you didn't give me the code for
I gave you the code that they gave me when I ordered my
and neither
perfume.
of them worked.
Okay, so that's not my problem. You've taken money out of my account.
I'm not taking your money. I'm not Amazon. I don't work for Amazon.
So why are you delivering fucking packages that you can't even?
Because there's a
You've
DSP
collected
system.
my money.
It's a third party.
You've collected my money.
I didn't take your money. I don't get any of your money.
It went right there.
I don't
It came
understand
right
what
out of
you're
my
saying.
bank. I want my fucking package.
I can't.
I'm calling the fucking cops right now.
You calling the cops?
Yeah.
I'll wait here for you. You're gonna tell them I'm not giving your package, so you're gonna call the cops on me.
I am.
Those numbers are not good.
No, that's what they
No,
said.
the codes
twice
didn't
now.
work. There's no reason I would need to take this back. I don't want to keep this in the van. I would give this to you if I could. I would get fired if I gave this to you.
Bullshit!
Why would I not give this to
You
you?
took the money out of my fucking account.
I don't
already.
have your money.
I ordered it off
The
of
company
Amazon.
did.
The company.
Yeah.
Bottom line is she continued to argue with him as if he literally took payment for her money. I mean, for her order. Like, so ridiculous and nonsensical. But this is racist people. Now, mind you, she was talking to a white guy. But I'm just saying, if she's talking to a white guy like that over something so simple, you already know she's racist. Okay, please just be with it. Okay, but hold on. Now look at this. Everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. Pay attention. Now, these are some Africans talking about, say, kids in Africa going viral for having a strong Louisiana accent, claim they talk that ish better than them boys. How are you going to talk it better than somebody who's actually from there? Like, please wake up.
Nigga, y'all already know I'm with a gang, nigga. This splat, nigga. Feel me? Yeah, throwing them gang signs in the street. This my nigga, Trex Viniaga. This Emerald Show. We got Pop C, you feel me? Anybody in the gang is a motherfucking gangster, you hear me?
Absolutely cannot. Honey, they've been listening to a little bit too much Master P and Lil Boosie, or Boosie Badass. Let me tell y'all something. I just find it all so exhausting, okay? It is really tiresome. And let me just say this too, that same guy who was mad about the proms, he also had a video where he said, no, it was in that video that I showed you all where he said something about we praise gang culture. I told him we don't praise gang culture. Okay, that's a stereotype. And at the end of the day, if anybody praises gang culture, it's you. Okay, y'all have all these mafia movies. And why? Because y'all love mobsters. Y'all literally praise the mob. Okay, yes, they do. Please dismiss me with it. And what is the mafia? Nothing but a gang. Okay, in suits. Already, they do a whole lot more damage than gangs ever could. All right. At least the gangs are killing their own people, which you don't care about, but you want to pretend you do. But at the end of the day, who is the mob killer? Like, sit down somewhere. Okay. Extorting people and all of that. I find it all so interesting. Okay, and this is why Black people who are participating in gang violence and all that stupidity need to wake the hell up. Because why are you taking out soldiers in your own darn army? Like, make it make sense. Nobody with sense praises that BS. Hold on, there was one more video I want to show you all. Oh, it's mine. It's my video I wanted to show you all. Because I had to go in on the Latinas today because they were talking crazy. I wasn't going to say anything about that Ashley Gonzalez BS, but no, they had to just keep on talking crazy. And so I just had to do a video about it. And then when I did a video, much to my surprise, not one of them said anything, but it was a white man who jumped in to try to insert himself into the conversation. So then I had to do a whole nother video responding to him just to let him know. Hold on, here we go. Everyone, I'm Dr. Ahmadiyyah Shakur. So it has come to my attention that some of the Latina community has come out lying, saying that we, African Americans, okay, FBA, whatever you want to call us, want a race war with them. Are y'all serious, honey? Nobody wants a race war with you all. Let's get into it. First of all, for you all to be coming at us and being so pressed, okay, because that's clearly what you are. You're clearly pressed because we don't even think about y'all. We don't even mention you until you mention us. And you don't see us going around here trying to mimic you, trying to appropriate your culture, trying to act like you. You don't see us going around here trying to speak Spanish. You don't see us going around here trying to dress like you. You don't see us listening to salsa music. You don't see any of that, but we do see you trying to get in hip hop, okay, listening to rap music and all of that. We see you trying to dress like us, talk like us, and all of that. But at the end of the day, that's because some of y'all are mad. Some of y'all are upset with us because wanting supremacy does not accept you. Some of you are so desperate to have a close proximity to whiteness, and when they don't accept you, you take your angst out on us because you can't take it out on them. That's all it is. Y'all are mad and y'all want to call us N-words, but at the end of the day, don't y'all think y'all can be N-words too? Okay, the wanted supremacists see all of us as N-words. They just see you all as N-words that speak Spanish. Okay, please pay attention. I mean, yes, we did come for Ashley Gonzalez because of what she said, but specifically because she's a police officer with that attitude, or she was with that attitude, okay? We really don't care what y'all say. We really don't care what you call us, because we can call y'all the same thing at the end of the day. That's just the bottom line. Some of you seem to forget that the only real difference between you and us is a boat stop, okay? Please pay attention. And now, mind you, I'm not talking to all Latinas. I'm talking about the ones who specifically have been saying they stand with Ashley Gonzalez and coming out talking greasy about us, crawling up out of the woodwork like termites, okay? And calling us the N-words and all of that. Those are the ones I'm specifically talking to. The rest of you, it doesn't even apply. But the bottom line is, you want to be like us. That's why you hate us. That's the real deal. That's the real tea. You want to be like us. You try to emulate us in everything you do. And that's why you're always so pressed and always coming for us, because we don't come for you unless you send for us. Okay, please pay attention. So as you can see, you all clearly have a whole other host of problems that you should be focused on and more concerned about, rather than the Black community. Because at the end of the day, look at the list, okay? Y'all have a myriad of problems, as do we. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, okay, they're trying to take us all back to Jim Crow. They just gutted the Voting Rights Act. You don't think that affects you? Okay, they're trying to stop all kinds of things. So the bottom line is, rather than focusing your angst on us, you need to be worried about the other problems, okay? That's what you need to focus on. All of you need to realize that you're only one phone call away from ICE deportation. And some of you want to get on this app and try to cosplay and race bait and act as though you're a part of the white community, and they don't accept you, like I said, at the end of the day. And if you don't believe it, just listen to this.
And again, another one bites the dust. How many videos am I going to have to make to tell you, if you don't look like me, but you think because you're not Black, it's not going to happen to you? It's going to happen to you. And the irony is your proximity to whiteness is never going to save you, and the call is always going to come from inside the house. Let's not forget that just a week and a half ago, they found a 19-year-old Latino boy hanging outside of a police department in Washington, D.C. We will never like you. We will never accept you. We will use you. We will abuse you, and then we will toss you aside. She's a dead woman walking. If she'll get drunk and...
Okay, so there you have it right there. At the end of the day, y'all want to sit here and try to go in on us, but honey, that's your real problem. Okay, that's why you're really mad. All of this is just displaced anger. Okay, that's what it is. But you need to wake up, smell the coffee, and get in line, fall in line, and worry about what you really need to be focused on, okay? Like she said, the call's always going to come from inside the house, okay? Or unless one of the Karens or Kens invite you over to do some contract work and then decides they don't want to pay you and then calls ICE. Okay, please pay attention. I said what I said. The ones of you who were out there talking about I will vote for Donald Trump, making whole songs. Okay, how's that working out? Yeah. Okay, please sit down somewhere. Now, here's the little smarty who had something to say. Okay, there's always one. But Cambo, nobody was even talking to you. But since you inserted yourself into this conversation, let's get into it. So first of all, I'm going to assume that you're talking about Eminem, okay? Because he is the best rapper amongst the people who look like him. Now, with that being said, he was put on by a Black man by the name of Dr. Dre. And whether you think he's the best or not, which is your opinion, not a fact, he still got put on by a Black man, and he still culturally appropriated something that we created. That's just what it is. And I assure you that no one's bumping Eminem in their cars when they're driving down the street. No one's bumping Eminem in the club. He's not played on the radio, okay? And at the end of the day, you're not even listening to him in your house. You just wanted to insert yourself in this conversation because you don't like people who look like me. That's obvious, okay? And then you have the nerve to ask, okay, I thought y'all weren't racist. First of all, what does us being racist have to do with us coming out and defending ourselves, okay, addressing things that other people have said, such as calling us the N-words? How does that make us racist? But I guess you think that we're supposed to just sit there and take what everybody else that hates us dishes out and not say anything. Well, guess what? It's not 1863, it's 2026. Okay, so when people want to give us the smoke, we'll take it just like hookah, and we can give it just as well as they can. Okay, so please miss me with it. Why are you even on my account again? Make it all make sense. Just for the record, Tupac is the best rapper ever. Always has been and always will be. Miss us with it. Okay, like why are they so mad? I absolutely cannot. Ashcon said, sir, please go around the outside. everybody just mad at us like we didn't do anything, okay? I find it all so interesting. Okay, so now with that all being said, I mean, listen, I can give Eminem his props, but he could never be the best at something that he didn't even create. Okay, that his people didn't create. Please pay attention. At the end of the day, I just found it all interesting. And then he's sitting there. First of all, who was talking to Bob? Nobody was even talking to him. He was just so desperate to insert himself in the conversation. He literally left me 2 comments, okay? That's what he did. Now I'm going to block him after I know he's seen that video by now, okay? Because it's already gotten plenty of views. Now, with that all being said, let's go to Stefon Diggs because his trial is filmed live. And I'm going to go to a few clips. Now, the whole thing is probably like hours long or whatever. I'll probably watch that later on my own time. But nonetheless, it's not looking good for Stefon. That's all I'm saying. Here, thank you in advance. Okay, here we go.
Trial is getting underway this morning for former Patriot star Stefon Diggs. He is accused of attacking his personal chef. Boston 25 News reporter Ryan Breslin is live at the courthouse in Dedham. Diggs is there for the start of his trial, Ryan.
Cale, that's right. Jury selection is happening right now. Journalists are outside of the courtroom, but they were allowed in there while the judge was polling potential jurors, asking questions about what they knew about the case or if they had certain biases of this case. I want to show you some video. This is Stefon Diggs walking into Dedham District Court here this morning ahead of the start of this trial. Diggs is charged with felony strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery. Now, he has pled not guilty to both of those charges, and he denies that he strangled his private chef at his Dedham home. The alleged altercation took place on December 2nd. Prosecutors say the assault happened during a dispute over unpaid wages. The victim claims Diggs struck her in the face and placed her in a chokehold before throwing her on a bed. Our station has obtained text messages appearing to show Diggs and the victim arguing over money. Previous attorneys for Diggs, they said that they were working to resolve the dispute with a financial settlement, but that did not happen. Now, court appearances for Diggs, they occurred after the Patriots Super Bowl. Since then, Diggs has been released from the Patriots and is now a free agent. Diggs was not in court on Friday, the final pre-trial hearing before this trial today. But once again, he is here today. Jury selection is underway. The judge saying on the bench today that she was told by attorneys that this trial will likely last between 2 and 3 days to try. Then it is up to the jurors to reach.
You know what the sad thing for him? The sad thing for him is that he lost the Super Bowl. Because if he lost the Super Bowl, he'd still be with the Patriots. And then I'm quite sure Robert Kraft would be helping him. This case probably wouldn't even be a thing. Okay, this case probably wouldn't even be a thing. But alas, this is likely his karma. He lost his girl and his job at the same time, sadly for him. Okay. Let's go to the next clip. I'm going to use an overlay because this is from Law and Crime. Oh, God, I can't even put an overlay on here. Are you serious? Hold on, beloveds. Hold on. Let me go to another clip because for some reason, I'm not able to scroll. Okay, I'm going to go to the next clip while I look for an overlay. Now, this one, she's so dramatic. She says that he smacked her and then proceeds to start crying. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance.
Trump is
He smacked me with an open hand.
Do you know which hand he used?
Right hand, right side of my
Do you know
face.
which part of your face got hit?
the right side of my face.
And then what happened?
And then he Can I have a second? Can I have a second?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can take a minute.
All right. When I went up to push his hand, like block him, block him, he took his arm and he like came around my neck with the crook of his elbow around my neck, and he began to choke me, pressure on my neck with his elbow.
When you were asked questions about what happened on December 2nd, you lied.
It did not change what happened on December the 2nd. It did not change what happened on December the 2nd. He choked and slapped me.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to try my question again. Because you didn't think it was important. When you asked the questions of Dedham Police Officer Ellis on December 16th, you lied.
I did not lie.
That sounds like it's juicy. Okay, we might need to go to a couple of other clips. Hold on. All right, I can't scroll for some reason. I hate this. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it now. Hold on, beloveds. Let me try something real quick. Nope, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so I'm just going to go to a whole nother clip. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I can get the clip straight from their regular news channel or station rather than using the one on Law and Crime. So do you all think Stefon's going to be found guilty? What do y'all think? At the end of the day, I think that when she was crying and asked for a minute, I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. I think those were crocodile tears. Okay, I think they were crocodile tears. That's just my opinion. But what do you all think, though? Here we go.
Continued working for him afterwards. She had a dispute with him over a payment. How his staff told her that she needed to sign a non-disclosure agreement to get paid. I expect she'll tell you that it wasn't until after this incident in December 2nd that anyone talked to her about a non-disclosure agreement. I expect for her to tell you how she eventually left that job as a chef, Mr. Diggs, and how she eventually reported what happened to her to the police. You also have an opportunity to hear from an officer from the Dedham Police, one Kenneth Ellis. He'll tell you about his training that he undertook in order to become an officer and how on December the 16th, Ms. Mila Adams came to the Dedham Police Station to talk to the police. He'll be able to tell you a bit about that encounter, what he saw, a little bit about that conversation, and ultimately how he chose to, how charges were filed against Mr. Diggs. Now, in this case, Mr. Diggs has no obligation to call any witnesses. He may choose not to call any witnesses, and you cannot hold that against him. But in the event that he does call witnesses, I ask that you give his witnesses the same care, the same attention, and the same scrutiny that you give to the Commonwealth's witnesses. It's part of your job as jurors, as the master of the facts, to listen to every witness, to pay attention, and to assess their credibility. In doing so, I ask that you keep two things in mind. One, what the witness had an opportunity to see or not to see. whether the witness had an actual opportunity to witness the during that time, closing arguments, I'll ask you to come to a decision based on the evidence you heard. But right now, what I'm asking you is to not come to any decisions. Right now, your main job is to listen. It's to pay attention, to give every bit of evidence the attention and the scrutiny it deserves. And when I say every bit of evidence, I do mean every bit of evidence, because in cases like this, every bit of evidence is important. Thank you.
Counsel, do you care to open?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, again, ladies and gentlemen. The assault the Commonwealth just described in their opening statement in only a few sentences. It never happened. Did not happen. There was no strangulation. There was no assault. There was no incident on December 2nd or any other day. There were 6 people in Mr. Diggs's home on December 2nd, and not one heard or saw anything out of the ordinary. The Commonwealth has no physical evidence. There are no medical records. There are no photos or videos showing any injuries. There are videos showing no injuries at all. Pay attention to where those came from. On December 16th, as the Commonwealth just said, Ms. Adams went to the police, and you will learn that after that, on the very day the complaint issued in this case, December 29th, demands for money from Mr. Diggs began coming from Ms. Adams' agents. Starting the end of December on the 29th with over $19,000, and then most recent being a sum for quite a bit more. My name, again, is Andrew Kettlewell, and with my partner, Ms. Silva, we represent Stefon Diggs, who I'm actually going to ask to stand up for a moment. Mr. Diggs is a 33-year-old football player and businessman. He played for the New England Patriots last year. He's from Maryland. He's joined here with his mother. Thanks. You're going to learn, ladies and gentlemen, that December 2nd, 2025 was a day like any other for Stefon Diggs. He was in a good mood. The Patriots had played the night before. They'd won. He played well. He was going to head into work on December 2nd, just like any other day after a game, for treatment, film review, team meetings. And that night, on December 2nd, 2025, he and his closest friends were scheduled to fly to Miami, Florida. That was for the 1 week off he had during the season, the 1 week of vacation. It's called a bye week. During that day, after he went to work, friends began arriving at his house, folks who were also joining him on the trip to Miami. There were other people in his house. One of those people who I expect you're going to hear from is his assistant, Janelle Salas. You'll hear people refer to her as Son. You're going to hear from Ms. Salas that for the entire afternoon, she was in Mr. Diggs' home in Dedham on Schoolmaster Street, sitting in the kind of main area, living room, kitchen area, watching people come and go. And she was getting things ready for the trip that night. Miss Adams, you're going to hear, was also in that house. She lived and worked in that house as Mr. Diggs' chef for the regular season. And that was from July 2025 to December 2025. That morning, Miss Adams was not happy. Instead, she was quietly seething about being left off that trip to Miami. I mentioned they were going to Miami that night and that Mr. Diggs is a businessman. In Miami, you're going to hear that there was an art show where a furniture line he collaborated with a person on was being displayed. But also in Miami, you're going to hear that Mr. Diggs had a birthday party. He had just turned 33, and that there was a week's worth of fun. And Miss Adams initially was expected to be on the trip, but she had been left off. She'd been left off because she'd spent the previous several days feuding with that business partner from the furniture line who was in Miami. And that person's name is Lindsay. I'm going to get back to that in one moment. Why was Miss Adams so frustrated that morning? Why was she so upset about Mr. Diggs taking Miss Lindsay's side in a feud over hers? It's because Miss Adams wasn't just a chef. She had known Mr. Diggs for years previous to ever working for him. They had been friends, and at times they'd been friends with benefits. That relationship had led to Miss Adams getting the job to cook for Mr. Diggs. She got to live in the house. She went to games. She sat with the owners of an NFL team, went to parties. She was paid $2,000 a week in reimbursement for what she claimed she spent on groceries. And she had plenty of opportunity to talk to Mr. Diggs about trying to get him to invest in her to open her dream restaurant. As that season wore on, her place in Mr. Diggs' circle began to slip. And things came to a head in late November when that issue that I just mentioned, the feud between her and this person named Lindsay, popped up. That feud, it's about an anonymous blog post that was posted on the internet. Lindsay said that Miss Adams posted it. Miss Adams said Lindsay was the problem. The blog, the drama, all of that, it's not important to this case. What is important is that by December 2nd, 2025, Miss Adams was furious. She was upset about being left off the trip. She was upset about Mr. Diggs taking Lindsay's side over her in that argument. And so while he was at work, she was at the house.
Hold on, let me say this. Let me say this. Now, not to go in on the alleged victim, but here's my thing with her. She was the chef. She was hired to do a professional job. She says that she started sleeping with this man. Okay, so I'm sorry. That already right there lets me look at her with a whole side eye. Because first of all, why are you sleeping with your boss? That's for number one. You should keep it professional. Okay. And then second of all, at the end of the day, how do we know that she wasn't mad because of his other women? Okay. Specifically Cardi B. All right. I'm just saying that I want to hear what is said before I draw any nefarious conclusions. Okay. Now, if he did put the pause on her, he needs to pay and he needs consequences. But my thing is, did he really put pause on her or is she just mad about something else? Because on that, y'all remember when I reported on this when it first came out that she was going to sue him or she was taking him to court or whatever, I showed you all the text messages. And in the text messages, she wasn't saying anything about him putting pause on her. All she was talking about was money. She was mad because she said that he promised her money to start her business. Girl, he doesn't have to give you money for your business. He's already paying you to cook. And if you've given him something other than the food, okay, I'm sorry, that's on you. Okay, see, I know how women roll, okay? Women be doing shady stuff. All right, let's not act like all people that accuse men of stuff are always innocent because some of these women just be out here in the streets. They be in the streets and for the streets and then jumping in the sheets. Now, I'm not saying that's what she did, but I'm not saying that's what she didn't do. I'm just going to wait for the evidence to present itself because my thing is, if he did all of that, why were you in the text messages asking him about money? Okay, I'm sorry, make it all make sense. At the end of the day, I think she got mad because he didn't give her that money. That's what I think. Now, it could have been something else going on, but I think that's the root of the problem. Let's continue.
And you will see the text messages, I expect, that she sent to him that morning. You'll see her frustration boiled over. A quick word about those text messages. I expect you're going to see most, if not all, of these messages.
Oh my goodness.
And there's some language in there that is not typically courtroom appropriate. There's cursing, there's slang. The one thing I ask of you is that you don't let the way that the messages, the two parties in the messages communicated with one another, interfere with your ability to understand the content and to understand their importance. Because you're going to see what that exchange was about. You're going to see it was about this dispute, about Miss Adams being left off the Miami trip, and about Mr. Diggs picking somebody else's side over her. And you're going to hear why that's important. Because as I said, Miss Adams
She was chef boy on the team.
December 16th. She made her report. And she told them the argument on December 2nd was about money. She told them that's what the fight was about over text and in real life, and that's how things got out of hand. She didn't mention Miami. Listen to what else she didn't mention. And 2 days later, she sent the Dedham Police Department a screenshot of the text messages she said, and you just heard the Commonwealth say, led into that fight. Led over the phone to Mr. Diggs coming into her room and committing this offense. And you're going to see those messages that she sent to the Dedham police. And I expect that what the evidence is going to show you after you've seen those, after you've seen all the messages that she did not show to the Dedham police, the evidence is going to show you that she curated the messages. She omitted some, she removed other messages before she sent them.
Okay, do y'all hear this? Oh, please don't let that be the case. Curated the messages? That's just like the girl with Kanye. If you remember, I read you all the lawsuit and showed you the text messages, and I said, don't y'all find it interesting that the only text messages she showed in the lawsuit were the ones that Kanye sent? She never sent, and he was talking about SEX, of course, but she never showed her responses to those messages. That's because she was likely hooking up with Kanye, okay? Please miss me with it.
To the Dedham police to fit her narrative. By the way, on December 2nd, she indicated to the police as well that she had not been paid for November. You're going to hear a little bit about her payment and about.
No, Reggie, not the designer, his former assistant that he was paying like $1 million. I think he was paying her like $4 million and she wanted more, or he was paying her at least $1 million and she wanted $4, something like that. But that's who I'm talking about. The one that was posted, that was a whole OnlyFans model and posting all those scantily clad pictures. Like, girl, sit down somewhere. You probably was trying to give Kanye some. Like, I'm sorry.
Her paperwork. We'll get to that in one moment. A few of the people who you're going to hear from in this trial. Many of them do work or have been associated with Mr. Diggs. Sonny, his assistant, is one of the witnesses you're going to hear from. I indicated to you she was inside the home that day, sitting in the living room, watching people come and go, doing her job like normal. She personally spoke to Miss Adams throughout that day, and she'll tell you what she observed. You're going to hear from other folks who talked or texted with Miss Adams that day as well. You're going to learn that Mr. Diggs had a scheduled day. He was at work in Foxborough, and even after he got back from work, he had a set schedule. He had an IV treatment for 1 hour and a 2-hour massage that followed. Following that, as I said, they were getting on the airplane and they were flying to Miami. As for Miss Adams, what you'll hear is that there was nothing out of the ordinary. She was normal. She cooked dinner for Mr. Diggs on December 2nd. She chatted on the phone and spent the afternoon and early evening in the house. And that night, she flew to New York City to spend her week off with friends. I've said normal a few times already in this case. Let me pause and tell you what normal was like in the Diggs house. Mr. Diggs is a highly regarded professional athlete. He owns a clothing line, a furniture line that I've already mentioned, and other businesses. And he's a public figure. He's a coterie of family, friends, and staff around him at all times. Good professional athletes are paid very well in this country, and Mr. Diggs is very good at his job. He has the means to support his friends, family, and staff, and he takes good care of his people. You're going to hear that on December 2nd, he was taking his entire entourage on an airplane down to Miami and putting them up for a week's worth of events and parties, and that wasn't even out of the ordinary. So normal in the Mr. Diggs house is a little bit different from normal in your house or mine. But just like any other person in this country, rich or poor, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. And any preconceptions or feelings you have about athletes, wealth, or anything else, you have to put aside and not let interfere with the oath you just took as jurors. So we've talked about December 2nd because that's the day Miss Adams claimed this incident occurred. You're going to hear about other days as well. You'll hear a little bit, like I said, about that November blog incident because it led up to the text exchange on December 2nd. The text exchange, the Commonwealth just told you, led into this physical assault. that Miss Adams claims occurred. You also heard a moment ago that she flew to New York City that night. And I expect that you're going to hear from the people she stayed with in New York City. Their names are Shy Charles and Natalia Moses. They're both hairstylists who live in New York City, and you're going to see videos from Miss Adams's trip to New York City. Videos recorded only hours after she had landed, hours after this alleged incident had occurred. Videos from later that week, the next day, and a few days after that. And when you hear about those videos, ask yourself, what am I seeing? Where did the information come from? And what can it tell me? Ask yourself whether what is depicted on those videos is consistent with the Commonwealth's theory that Miss Adams was brutally assaulted by a professional athlete in her bedroom on December 2nd. Ask yourself, what would you expect to see from what the Commonwealth just described in a person's demeanor and physically on their body? There's an old axiom that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts, that is the true answer. See if the Commonwealth theory accounts for all of the evidence that you're going to get to see over the next day and a half. One other thing that you are going to hear, the Commonwealth mentioned it briefly for a moment there, was that Miss Adams returned to the house in Dedham. You're going to learn that happened on December 9th, 1 week after she went to New York City. One thing you will learn about that return is that on December 16th, she told the police that she was only going there to pack her things. The evidence will show you that that was not true. She actually went back to work just like nothing had happened. Pay very close attention to the details surrounding her return on December 9th.
Okay, so went back to still work for the man that hemmed you up by your throat? Girl, make that make sense, okay? Now, I know some women will make excuses for it, but there is no excuse. You put your hands on me, it's a wrap, okay? And I'm going to the police right then and there, okay? Now, I'm inclined to believe it because I'm looking at some of this information that is online reported by Boston 10. But anyway, let's continue because this is all juicy.
How she got there, what she was doing, what happened after she got back to the house in the middle of the night at about 11:30 p.m. and walked in unaccompanied. Listen for those details about what she did then and what happened after, and ask yourself whether it tends to corroborate the story the Commonwealth just told you, that she was violently assaulted and strangled on December 2nd, or whether it instead suggests that nothing happened on December 2nd. As I said, after Miss Adams got back to work on December 9th, she tried to pretend that things were fine. She tried to get back in Mr. Diggs's good graces to get him to forget about the text exchange back on December 2nd. But the damage, the argument they had on December 2nd was done, and she couldn't get back into his good graces. And even worse, she was now coming back and going to have to comply with the same rules that apply to everybody else. The Commonwealth already mentioned one of those. You're going to hear from Melissa Goddard, one of Mr. Diggs's bookkeepers who came up from Florida. She's going to tell you that she took over responsibility for Miss Adams's payment that fall, and that she found, because Miss Adams had had this previous relationship with Mr. Diggs, that she had never been onboarded as a normal contractor. She had never filled out any normal paperwork. And she told the assistant Sonny and Miss Adams that they needed to follow the normal procedures. Miss Adams needed to sign proper paperwork, including signing an NDA just like anybody else. And she needed to submit actual receipts for reimbursements, just like everybody else. And you're going to see that Miss Adams ignored those requests until she couldn't anymore. And that happened around December 13th. On December 13th, you're going to learn Miss Adams got an email about that paperwork, and she got upset. She got mad again, and there was another barrage of angry text messages to Mr. Diggs. And this time, she wound up getting herself fired for good. I expect that you're going to end up seeing those messages as well. Messages the police weren't told about, because the police weren't told she went back to work after December. This time, some of those messages actually were about money, but also still the same Lindsay blog post issue of Mr. Diggs picking someone over her. The end of this exchange on December 13th was more specific than December 2nd. Mr. Diggs sent $2,000 via Apple Pay that Ms. Adams claimed she owed and told her she did not need to worry about cooking for him anymore. She was out.
Now, mind you, according to the evidence that I've seen, he was paying her $2,000 per week for her cooking skills.
And this time she knew there was no getting back in. And listen to what happened when you hear the evidence after that, after December 13th. 3 days later, as you've already heard, Ms. Adams went to the police. She didn't tell them about December 13th, but she'd been fired. Instead, she told them a made-up story. She was furious, and she wanted Mr. Diggs to pay in every sense of that word. And what you will hear is that her demands for money, as I said, began on December 29th, the same day the criminal complaint issued in this case. You will also hear that as this case has gone on and public pressure has grown, that number has only gone up. And I will let her tell you what number she is now demanding from Mr. Diggs. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Diggs sits here an innocent man. That's the beauty of the American justice system. You heard a little bit about the way trial works. You heard that the burden is entirely on the Commonwealth to prove its case. Their burden, proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it's the highest burden in our system. And as Mr. Virtue mentioned, Mr. Diggs has no burden whatsoever. One thing Mr. Virtue and I agree on, be skeptical with every witness. And financial incentives certainly do play a role in this case. We will call witnesses. We do so to give you the fullest possible picture of what happened and what did not happen on December 2nd, to give you the clearest picture of the truth. But that does not mean that we have to prove a single thing. The Commonwealth bears the burden, and the burden never shifts. That's how our system works. That's the beauty of it. That when an innocent person like Mr. Diggs is charged with a crime they didn't commit, what can they do? They can do this. They look the Commonwealth right in the eye and they say, prove it. And that's exactly what Mr. Diggs has done. That's why you are here, ladies and gentlemen. That's what a trial is. Mr. Diggs has chosen to place his fate in your hands. You, ladies and gentlemen, are the most important part of our system. I thank you, and Mr. Diggs thanks you for being here and for your service. You are the only people who can and who must hold the government to its burden. And the way you do that, it's not fancy. It's by using your common sense, your life experience, tools you use every day of your life to weigh credibility and to make decisions. And our system depends on that. You are the judges of credibility. And so I ask that you listen carefully, you should keep your full attention while you're here, and that you remember that the simplest answer that accounts for all the facts is the true answer. One of the worst things that a person can go through is to be charged with a crime that they didn't commit, especially in a situation like this one, where the charge hinges entirely on the word of a single person, and that person has millions of reasons to lie. So let's have a trial. And at the end of it, at the end of all the evidence, after you have heard it, I'm going to have the opportunity to come back and discuss the evidence as well. And at that time, I'm going to ask you to deliver what I expect will be the only true and just verdict in this case. And I can tell you right now that that will be to find Stefon Diggs not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
I don't know. He should have gotten Diddy's attorneys. Okay, that's what he should have done. He should have gotten Diddy's attorneys, honey. Okay, then it'll be a shoe-in. Okay, but let's continue.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Mila Adams to the stand.
So he was nodding yes. Okay. exactly what I was thinking, beloved.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
May I inquire?
You may.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Jamila, Jamila, Adams, ADAMS.
And do you normally go by Jamila or?
I go by Mila.
Mila, okay. And what do you do for a living?
I am a professional chef. I have been working in the industry for 13 years.
So you're a professional chef. Do you work in kitchens and?
I work privately for athletes, prominent figures, and wealthy families.
So you're a private. Is there a difference between a private chef and personal chef? Are those the same things, or?
It's pretty much the same thing.
And how long do you say you've been a private chef?
13 years.
13 years. And what sort of training did you take to become a chef?
I went to school for clinical psychology, so I have a degree in psychology. But I followed my passion in cooking because I grew up in the South and we cook. So I did some training in France and also Italy.
And kind of very generally, what does a private chef do?
We provide daily meals for our clients. So that would be breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. It's typically a live-in situation. So readily available to them, kind of like 24 hours a day. So I would say it's based on clients' needs. So
and,
each client would, whatever your health goals were or health issues were, I will help you get better.
So you mentioned a little bit of what kind of clientele have you worked for?
Now, I'm going to tell you, if I was Stefon's attorney, that's absolutely what I would ask her. Okay, do you sleep with all of your clients? I would definitely ask her that. Okay, I would put her I would grill her. Okay, but if this lady is innocent and if everything she said about Stefon is true, he absolutely deserves whatever he gets. Now, but I have my questions about this case. But in that case with him and the young man, what's that guy's name? Chris Griffin? What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about because I reported on it. What's that guy's name? Hold on, let me pull him up. The guy who sued Stefon. Now that guy, I think he's telling the truth. I believe him. Hold on, let me look him up real quick. Chris Blakely, that's his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I actually believe him. I don't think he's lying. Okay, I don't think he's lying. Now, I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying I need to get more information before I say if I believe her or not. But I definitely believe Chris.
Athletes, entertainers.
And without naming names, what kind of athletes or entertainers do you mean?
Singers, football players, basketball players, baseball players.
And are these professionals?
Very professional.
How much do you make in that job?
It ranges, depending on the needs they need from me. If it's a full-time live-in, it can range from anywhere $5,300 a week to $10,000.
Turning your attention now to a Mr. Stefon Diggs. Do you know Mr. Stefon Diggs?
Yes.
And how do you know him?
I've known Stefon Diggs for over 4.5 years.
And how'd you meet him?
We met in December 22 through an Instagram message. He first wanted me to cook for him.
And do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And could you identify him through, I see you're pointing at someone, but can you describe him just because we have to have everything on the record? You describe him either clothing he's wearing or hairstyle, anything like that?
Blue shirt and blue tie and blue suit.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that this witness is identified the defendant as Mr. Stefon Diggs?
It will reflect that identification.
Crazy.
Over those 4 or so years, how would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
So you said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him?
Yes.
And that's as a private chef?
Yes.
What were the sort of terms of your
Seven-layer
employment?
cake.
Like were you going to be living with him?
Yes.
And how many meals or what was it like working for him?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, yes. So as far as your employment goes, what were your duties working as a Mr. Diggs private chef?
My duties were to make all his meals, his snacks, basically get him healthy. That was the start of our initially hiring me. He was coming back. It was his comeback year. And I wanted to help him get healthy, to eat better too.
So how does it, do you create a menu? Does he just tell you what he wants? Do you
I'm skilled with recovery. So I knew what it would take to get him, help him get healthy and stay healthy. Help him change his diet. So it was more so like diet change would be the focus, and just overall help.
And did you would you cook just for him or for other people as well?
I'm going to say this, you guys. I don't believe that she was making $10,000 a week for anybody. And I don't believe that she was cooking for a whole lot of celebrities. I don't believe her. If she was, why would you be working for Stefon for $2,000 per week when you're used to making at least 10 in some cases? And also, I feel like if she had such a reputable, such a good reputation for cooking for all these different people, so he heard of her through a DM. One of them DM'd each other. Nobody referred her or whatever. And then if you have been doing it for that long and working with all these people that are such celebrities, are you sleeping with all of them? Why would you sleep with him? Why would you be more professional? You should know that is never a good idea to piss where you lay. Okay, that's just not ever smart. Okay, I have several questions, but let's continue.
Yes, I will cook for whoever was in the house.
And I know you mentioned earlier breakfast. Is that the sort of standard? Was it every day breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then?
Yes, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
And how much did you get paid for this?
We agreed on $2,000.
Kitchen.
And how did you get paid?
Finance office would pay me.
So you said that you, while this was staying in his house, right?
Yes.
Where was this house?
7 Schoolmasters Lane.
In what town?
Dedham.
And could you describe this house? What was it? It was a single family home?
Another thing too, I don't believe that typically she was staying with other celebs that she cooked for. If I were the defense, I would ask her, can you name some of these people that you previously serviced and how long you stayed with them? Because I believe that she was only staying with Stefon, and that's because according to her, they had relations before she got hired. Okay, they had relations before she got hired. So I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
What was it? Was it an apartment? Was it?
No, it was a single family home's house.
And how many floors was it?
Basement, middle floor, a landing, and then top floor. So 3 floors.
And so, where was the kitchen?
The kitchen was downstairs on the floor you come into the house. So the first floor.
And that's where you did your chefing, cooking, baking. I don't know.
Yes, where I did my cooking.
Yes. And where did you stay in that house?
I stayed
Yes.
top floor.
And where was it in the house?
It was up the landing all the way to the back, and it was over the kitchen.
And was this a single bedroom that you had? Was it a suite? What was it?
A single bedroom with a full bathroom.
With a full bathroom. Was the
Hello, Dad.
bathroom off of the bedroom?
It's the bedroom, and then you walk back to the bathroom.
So
It was in my room.
Okay, so the entrance to the bathroom wasn't in the hallway; it was in the bedroom. Okay. And where was Mr. Diggs? Where was his bedroom?
Up the first landing.
Okay, so you said that there was the floor you come in on, a landing, and then
Mr. Diggs' room.
Mr. Diggs was on the landing?
Yes.
Okay. How long were you there in that house?
From July 20th, 21st. Can't remember the exact date right now. To December the 15th.
And during that time, who was at the house with you?
Mr. Diggs, his friends.
Did he have other staff that lived there, or was it just?
No, I was just living there. He had friends that basically lived there.
Okay. And while you were living there, was it a kind of regular schedule or thing? How did that work?
Yes, he gets a different schedule by the week, but it will change by the day sometimes. Sometimes he will have to go in later or earlier. So I will often ask at night what time you have to be at work, so I can have breakfast prepared for him to take.
Turning your attention now to November. Around November, did any sort of friction occur between members of his staff?
Yes.
And what was that?
Friction. Say that again. Friction.
Was there any sort of maybe I should say this. What, if anything, happened near the end of November?
Yes. An Instagram DM message was sent to his child's mother's friend, and this message was stating that I was telling his personal business of women that he was sleeping with that worked with us, that worked with me, and yeah.
And so,
as far as I can remember what that message said.
And
so,
how did this create friction within the people working for Mr. Diggs?
I was confronted by Mr. Diggs if I said these things, but it had already been Mr. Diggs had a ongoing sexual relationship with Lindsay Bolin, and this person, she didn't like me, that fact that I was in the house.
So you mentioned Lindsay Bolin. Who's that person?
Lindsay Bolin, it works for Mr. Diggs.
And how? What does she do?
That I can't quite answer. I just know he provides housing.
She's
I don't know. Yeah, she works for
him. And so, did you and Lindsay get into any sort of argument, or you mean, or?
We didn't get in. We got in an argument after Mr. Diggs confronted me. She sent me a message first, per his instruction, and called me a name, excuse my language, guys, a bitch, and she just went on and on and on in this message about me.
Objection, Your Honor. Maybe we heard it side by side.
Now, she just stated that Stefon had the other woman to message her and call her a bitch. My question is, what makes her think that he told the woman to do that? Does she have proof of that? It's what I'm waiting to see. Or did the woman just take it upon herself? Maybe the woman did it herself. Okay, I just want to hear this because how would she know that he told the woman to send her a message and call her a bitch? Okay, I mean, if he wanted her to be called that, he could have clearly said it himself. Done. Robert said here in Spain. Okay, move to strike on the grounds of speculation, like Ashkan said days ago. Terry Hinn said so both women were fighting over him. They were fighting over his money, honey, if anything, beloved. They were fighting over his coins, okay? Who was going to get what? DJ Big Six said, objection, Your Honor. Okay, move to strike. Leading the witness. Yeah, just throwing out random legalese terms and phrases.
At some point, were members of Mr. Diggs' staff going to go down to a trip to Miami?
The whole staff was supposed to go there, yes.
You said the whole staff.
I wasn't finished on that last question.
That's fine, but I'm asking questions now.
Okay.
So at some point, members of his staff were supposed to go down to Miami, right?
Contraception.
So the whole staff, how many people was this?
His assistant, myself, and his friends. It was him.
And did you end up going down to Miami?
No.
And why is that?
Mr. Diggs told me that I couldn't go because me and her had an issue from November 26th issue.
You want to make
You all notice this segment's about to end, but do you all notice how she is so concerned about what's going on sidebar? How she keeps glancing over there. Hold on, I'm gonna go to another clip because this one's about to run out. We're gonna listen to about 10 more minutes, and I have to go. Y'all not gonna keep me on here all night. We'll listen to more of it tomorrow.
All right, jurors, at this point, we are approaching the lunch recess, so I am going to release you to the lunch break. We will resume in about an hour, just about 5.
Okay, so they went to lunch. Okay, so let's pick up where we left off on this next clip. I'm gonna have to find the timestamp. Honey, this is all juicy. Sarita said she's messy boots. Okay, isn't she though? Like, girl, you should not be sleeping with your boss under any circumstances, mind you. Okay, that's what you shouldn't do. All right, Measure Man said, fix it, Jesus. I'm out here windmilling with Tupac Passion and Eminem Chaos, defending the whole mission solo. I'm tired. Somebody tag in before I retire mid-swing. TikTok out. Measure Man, I know that's right, honey. You had to pick up where the queen left off. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, I got you back. You're back, honey. Just tag me on in. Okay, thanks for your insight to the topic and your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, not Measure Man out here windmilling for his life. Okay, so now let me find the timestamp. We were like at the 40-minute mark when they went to break.
Miami trip.
My anger.
Hold on. We fast forward. She clearly is looking at some text messages or something.
House in the room but you two?
Just us two.
And were there other people in the house?
Yes.
Do you know where they were in the house?
Downstairs. If I'm not mistaken.
And you said you went to New York. You met with a Shy. Is it Shy?
Yeah.
How did you know Shy Charles?
She works for him.
Okay, so
She braids his hair.
and so has she known you longer or him longer?
Him longer.
No further questions, John.
Ms. Adams, today is not the first day you've told the story of what you say happened on December 2nd, true?
True.
The first time you told the story was on December 16th, right?
Yes.
And that was to Officer Ellis of the Dedham Police Department,
Yes.
right? And you sat with Officer Ellis, right?
Yes.
And you told him your story,
Yes.
and he took notes of what you were saying.
Yes.
Because what you were saying was important to issuing a criminal complaint, right?
Objection.
I don't know what a criminal complaint is. I was
Well-
making a report. I don't know.
You were making a report to the police.
Sir, did she just say that she didn't know what a criminal complaint is? And then said she was making a report? Girl, that's the criminal complaints. What did she even, did y'all hear that? She's not that smart, but she said she went to college for psychology. No wonder she's a chef.
Yes.
About what you said was a violent assault, correct?
Yes.
And your purpose in making a report to the police about a violent assault was to start a criminal case.
No. I made a criminal report to have a report to document it.
So documentation was important to you, right?
Yes.
The story that you just told to this jury under oath was.
I'm not going to keep interrupting, but what I want to tell you all what she's doing right here, she's trying to gauge where the defense is going with the line of questioning. Okay, that's why she's trying to be careful of how she answers, because I know darn well she has to know what a criminal complaint is. Okay? She's trying to see where this is going. That's what that is. She's trying to figure out, why is she asking me this? Okay, how should I say it? How should I answer?
Very different from what you told to Officer Ellis. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
What you said to Officer Ellis when you reported this crime, this so-called crime, is that you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes.
You told the police officer who filed the criminal complaint in this case, based on your word, that your fight with Mr. Diggs on December 2nd was over money. True?
Yes.
Except you just testified under oath to this jury that you didn't start talking about money until December 5th, right?
What did you say?
You just testified under oath to this jury.
I have been begging for my money since December the 5th. Mr. Diggs, and throughout those messages, you can see that I was begging for my money since that day.
Which message? Are you talking about Exhibit 3 that you just looked at?
It's other messages that you guys should have me begging for my money from Mr. Diggs.
Ms. Adams,
Yes.
do you recall testifying under oath to this jury that your fight on December 2nd was about Lindsay, your anger at Lindsay, and you being told you couldn't go on the Miami trip?
My anger was at Stefon. I never said my anger was at Lindsay.
You were angry at Stefon on December 2nd
Yes.
because you were told you couldn't go on
I was
Miami.
angry at Stefon because we were friends. He told me at the last minute I could not go to Art Basel.
And yet when you walked into the police station on December 16th, you said you had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to you.
Yes, money owed to me after I asked Mr. Diggs on December the 2nd, when can I get paid?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Your Honor, we've seen a Ceasefire on this video.
Sounds like she's getting caught up or tripped up. You got to remember your story. See, that's the thing. You got to remember your story when you're not telling the truth. I have questions.
Beating the buzzer, that's easy.
This is all nefarious.
Do you recognize that document that I've shown you as the police report that was prepared based on your statements on December 16th?
Yes.
You've seen this report before?
Yes, I made it.
And you see on the report where it says, she said that on this date, the male that she worked for entered her unlocked bedroom. They had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to Adams. She said that they began to discuss this, which apparently angered the male.
I did
There's no
not.
question pending yet. Do you see that language?
Yeah.
Did you say that to Police Officer Ellis on December 16th?
Yes, I see it.
And that wasn't true, was it?
To my recollection, it was true. We did discuss money and payment.
Ms. Adams, you just testified under oath about what happened on December 2nd.
Okay, I also didn't put in the police report our sexual relationship because I was ashamed. The police report got leaked. I didn't put a lot of things. The most important thing was the attack in the police report. Me reporting anything out.
One of the most important things when you're filing a police report, specifically a criminal report about somebody assaulting you, is to document every single thing and specifically what led up to it. What caused it to transpire? Okay? So that's a very significant thing. Now she's trying to say, oh, I didn't mention our sexual relationship. Well, you didn't have to mention that in the police report. But what you should have definitely mentioned is the events that led up to the situation at hand. Young lady.
Outside of why he got upset, I didn't feel the need to put it. I was scared of how it was received by the public. He's in a very public relationship with Cardi B. So I did not put a lot of things in the police report. My most important thing was him assaulting me and choking me and stuff.
I'm calling Cap right now. Because first of all, this supposedly happened on the 5th. She didn't report it until the 16th. Girl, why did you go to the police right away? I have several questions.
So that was the most important thing that I put in the police report. I was very vague. I didn't feel the need that I had to go and explain the relationship.
She said she was very vague. Who's vague when given a police report about someone assaulting you, choking you? Okay, violently, no less.
When you were asked questions, you actually gave.
I didn't feel.
You must wait until I finish the question.
Wait until counsel answers the question.
Don't look at the judge.
Answer it. You don't understand it.
Because you didn't feel it was important. When you were asked questions about what happened on December 2nd, you lied.
It did not change what happened on December 2nd.
I'm
It
gonna
did
try
not
my
change what happened on December 2nd. He choked and slapped me.
Ms. Adams, I'm going to try my question again. Because you didn't think it was important. When you asked the questions of Dedham Police Officer Ellis on December 16th, you lied.
I did not lie. I just did not expand on detail on the relationship I had with Mr. Diggs. I didn't feel that that was important. The sexual relationship, I didn't feel like that was important. I didn't feel it was important that he was upset because I told him I was not in love with him like those other women. I was ashamed of being with him. I didn't feel the need to explain it to the police officers.
Please answer.
She's looking like a trapped rabbit because now she's looking to the judge for the judge to say something like, help me, overrule. But nobody objected. Okay, please pay attention. This is not going good.
Question. The next question.
Under oath, on December 2nd, when you claim Mr. Diggs walked into your room, you had not been having a text exchange fight over money.
The last text exchange fight was over money. The last text exchange was me saying, you need to pay me out for the rest of the season. I'm out of your life. Give me the money for my business in that order. That was the last text exchange. His response to me.
Well, ma'am, before we get to his response, why don't we get
You
to
will
what
be
you
paying
were
me out for the
responding
season and the money you said you will give me for my business. Wasted my, excuse my language, fucking time being here because you have a, excuse my language again, fucking circus going on. I am out of your life. I am ruining that bitch life.
All right, Ms. Adams, you're going to listen to counsel's question. You're going to answer that question, and then you're going to wait for the next question. This is not an opportunity for you just to say whatever comes to mind.
Okay.
All right, it is to be responsive to the question presented.
Okay.
Next question.
Thank you, Anna. That response that you just read, that was actually a response to something Steph wrote to you, right?
That was a text exchange over money.
Yes or no question, ma'am.
What was your question?
What you just read into the record, that was a response to a text message that Steph sent to you, correct?
Yes.
And in that request, in that message that Steph sent to you.
Now, notice how his attorney is referring to him as Steph. I'm sorry, lady, you should be calling him Mr. Diggs. Is he sleeping with you too? That's just a little too comfy, okay? Do you all remember how Diddy's attorneys always addressed him as Mr. Combs? Okay, even though Mark Agnifilo clearly knew him before he was hired for the trial. She's calling him Steph. Okay, ma'am, I have questions. His name is Mr. Diggs, but let's continue.
You understood you were getting fired, right?
No.
What Steph wrote to you is, I'm gonna leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got to this, but oh well. Right?
Yes.
And you understood when you received that he was telling you you were not going to be cooking for him anymore.
No.
You didn't understand that.
No.
And that's why you responded with, you will be paying me out this season and the money you owe me?
No,
Because you knew you were about to lose your job, right?
I was not about to lose my job.
You didn't understand. I'm gonna leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got like this as a sign that you were about to lose your job?
No.
First of all, why would she need to lose her job after he choked her violently? She should have quit. Okay, please pay attention. At the end of the day, that's absolutely what the text messages said because I read them to you all. That's exactly what he texted her. And that was her response, that she wanted the money and specifically money for her business, which I said, I don't care if he promised her money for her business. He doesn't have to give her anything except for the money he owes her for services rendered. Okay? And giving up kitty cat doesn't count. Allegedly.
In any event, you didn't tell Officer Ellis on December 16th when you reported this assault any of that, right?
The last text message was about money. The last back and forth text messages was about money. Money he owed me for not finishing out the contract, and money he owed me that he said that he would invest in my business.
So
I took a lower pay because Stefon agreed that I will have chance to work on my business by working with
This
him.
happens. There's no question in front of you right now. And
Who will lift the trophy as champions of Major League Volleyball in 2020?
She's already getting on the judge's nerves, as I can tell clearly. This is not going so well. She needs to regroup. And this trial's only going to last for like 3 days, didn't they say?
answer the questions put to you. It's not an opportunity for you just to end with your score.
You told other falsehoods to Officer Ellis, didn't you?
No, not to my knowledge.
You told Officer Ellis that you had injuries from this alleged assault, right?
I told him I had bruising, meaning redness, and soreness on my throat.
You told him you had bruising on your neck, right?
It was like red. It wasn't like purple bruises. On the incident report, pull that up.
You didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police office on December 16th, did you?
No, because that happened on December 2nd.
And now she's getting annoyed with a line of questioning. Please pay attention. Measurement says, as a veteran, y'all need to learn the benefit of MREs, and you don't deal with this BS. I'm out. Was it that good? I'm just saying. Okay, please pay attention. All right, thank you for insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. And MRE stands for meal ready to eat. All right, let's continue. I'm going to play about 10 more minutes, and after that, the queen has to go. We'll finish listening tomorrow.
Right. So any injuries that you would have had, you had a reason for why they weren't there, right?
It happened, it faded. The fading went away the night.
And
hold on, she didn't take pictures of bruises? If somebody chokes me by my neck violently and there's bruises to prove it, I'm going to take pictures. Okay, I'm going to have photos.
And did you take any pictures of your injuries?
I was in shock. The first thing was not to take pictures. It was to get it together.
I thought you just testified under oath that you had just received a text message from a woman named Anna. That's Anna Kokolis, right?
You're in the wrong timeline.
You didn't just testify under
You're on
oath.
the wrong timeline.
You didn't just testify under oath that you were sitting on your bed, reading a cookbook, got a text message from Anna, and Mr. Diggs walked into your room?
Mr. Diggs walked in minutes after I texted him. That's how I based the time on what time he walked in the room.
Okay. So you had a phone in your hand when he walked in the room?
My phone was on the bed. I was reading a book. I wasn't texting her in the moment of Mr. Diggs walking in the room.
No. Okay. But you had a phone right there in your room?
Yes.
It's an iPhone?
Yes.
It's got a camera on it?
Yes.
You can take videos with it?
Yes.
And you do take videos with it?
Yes.
You take pictures with it?
Yes.
You take pictures of yourself with it?
Yes.
A lot?
Not often.
Not often. You have social media account for your business, don't you?
Yes.
Do you post things on your social media account?
I'm not as active as I should be.
You don't use your iPhone to take videos or pictures for that?
I'm not a very active person on social media.
I see. But you certainly.
Now, don't let them pull up her social media and see she's not telling the truth. Okay, first thing she should have done was call 911. Okay, please.
Certainly had a phone in your room when you claim you were violently assaulted and injured, right?
That has nothing to do or justify the reason I was attacked.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
Yes, I had a phone.
You took no pictures of your face or your neck or
That
your
has
chest?
nothing to do.
I need to finish my question.
Okay.
You took no pictures of your face on December 2nd, did you?
No.
No pictures of your neck on December 2nd, right?
No.
No pictures of your chest on December 2nd?
No.
You said Mr. Diggs hit you across the face. Did you have any marks on your face?
No.
You understand Mr. Diggs is a professional football player, right?
Yes.
He's an elite athlete.
I don't know. He's an athlete.
You don't know that he's an elite athlete?
I guess.
Okay.
You call him that.
And you testified he slapped you across your face?
Yes.
And you had no marks from it?
I was red. I was red. I'm lighter complexion.
Bruises, they get worse over time. Do you agree with me?
It was redness. It wasn't bruises.
Oh, hang on. There's an objection. You're going to objection. That is overruled. You may answer the question.
I have redness, Mark. Like, I'm light skinned. I turn red when.
You also get bruises, don't you?
If I hit something hard, yeah.
Right. And bruises get worse over time, right?
Okay. I'm not
Do they?
sure. I'm not sure. I don't get.
She knows darn well bruises get darker, get worse over time before they clear up. They turn from red to purple to a black looking color, blue, black, whatever. She knows this. Girl, stop.
Bruises a lot. I don't recall.
Do you recall telling Officer Ellis you were bruised on December 2nd?
My idea of bruising is soreness, hurting. I was red. It was redness. My face was red and on my chest.
So now we're supposed to go by her idea of bruising, not, in fact, the definition. Oh, honey, I need to be an attorney, okay? They need to have me in the whole courtroom, okay? Please pay attention.
I didn't turn purple or pink or anything like that. I didn't. It was redness.
Because you didn't have any injuries when you walked into the police station on December 16th, Officer Ellis actually sent you a form to fill out to describe the injuries that you said you had on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And you filled out that form, right?
Yes.
And you didn't do it on December 16th, did you?
No.
He actually emailed it to you, and you took 2 days, and then you emailed it back. True?
Yes.
Okay. And on that form, you put that your chest and throat were very sore for days after.
Her chest and throat.
And you put that you had redness, tenderness, pain, and bruising on your neck, right?
Like I said, bruising for me is redness.
But you didn't bring up the tenderness and pain just now, and I find it interesting because if she had bruising, redness, or whatever she wants to call it, and pain and tenderness in her throat and face or neck, why not go to the doctor? If she wanted to document something, she's talking about a police report, she just wanted it for documentation. Well, you also should have gone to the hospital to document it too, medically. So you would, in fact, have evidence and proof and receipts when you come to court. She's not that smart.
It was sore. It was redness.
Well, you felt
faded away, and literally, like maybe by the next day, if earlier than that.
Ms. Adams, when did you learn that the defense had provided videos of you to the Commonwealth?
Maybe yesterday or Friday, I think. Sometime last week when I spoke with Drew.
So last Thursday, you met with Mr. Virtue to prepare for your testimony, right?
Yes.
And you met with your lawyer as well, right?
Yes.
Your lawyer is representing you in an effort to get money from Mr. Diggs. True?
My lawyer's representing me my workers' comp claim, the injuries that I received on the job that Mr. Diggs refused to pay for. That's what my lawyer is representing me for.
Are you sure about that, ma'am?
She is my workers. I got my lawyer from workers' comp.
We'll come back to that. Let's stay with the form.
This is all
You
nefarious.
told Officer Ellis on December 18th, so now 16 days after you say you were assaulted, that you had.
Thank you, Cyrus, beloved. I appreciate you. She needs to stop telling stories, okay? Because this is falsehoods, lies, whatever. She needs to stick to the facts and just tell the truth. Girl, you're ruining your entire case. Okay? You're just coming off as a liar after a bad.
Redness, bruising, and soreness on your chest, right?
I told him that I wrote that.
Well, you wrote it in a form. You took your time and you chose
I
which
checked the
answers
marks.
to give,
Yes.
right? Okay. And you told him your shoulders were red and very sore, right?
Right. This whole area here was sore, across my chest, up here.
And you told him your whole body was sore, actually, didn't you?
It was.
You told him it was difficult for you to sleep.
I was very upset.
And I think you testified today that Steph supposedly put his forearm around your neck,
Steph did put his forearm around my neck.
not his hand.
No.
Okay. But you told Officer Ellis he used his hand, didn't you?
I think I use this. This is the crook of his elbow. That is in the grip.
You're on the head, Coach?
Girl, you getting caught up. This is bad. This is all bad, ma'am. Oh, Lord.
That's the form that you filled out over a course of 2 days and sent back to Officer Ellis, true?
2 days now.
And if you look right in under the heading method and or manner of strangulation suffocation, right in the maybe top third of that page. You see that?
Yeah.
Question number 2. How was the victim strangled? Check all that applied. See that?
Forearm, right hand.
You told him you were strangled with his right hand, true?
The forearm, right hand. That is what's checked.
Okay, but you just testified under oath it was only his forearm.
This is the right side. I'm little. Everything went across my neck.
So
that is what I meant by forearm, right hand was his whole right side. Right hand was the smack and forearm was the choke. How was the victim strangled? That was right hand meant smack, but his whole right arm was across my chest.
You also estimated the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation. Do you remember doing that?
Yes. I peed myself and I came back on my cycle really heavily.
So that was a yes or no?
Now, he choked her hard enough to cause pain in her neck, throat, shoulders, bruising upon the face or redness, and then all this soreness and all of this. And then she peed herself and her menstrual came back on heavy. But she didn't go to the doctor. Okay, she didn't go to the hospital, didn't go see a regular physician, didn't go to anywhere to get checked out. Like, that's all crazy, ma'am. This is not looking good.
No question there. You gave it a yes. You remember doing that, right?
Yes.
And you had a choice. Low is a 1 and 10 is a high. See that?
Yes.
What'd you pick?
10.
10.
Yes.
You said Mr. Diggs is 6 feet tall. He's actually 6'2", right?
I don't know.
You don't know how tall he is? You've known him for 4.5 years.
I don't know. He's taller than me. Way taller than me.
Okay. And you know he lifts weights every day, right? He takes hits from 300-pound men, right? For his job. True?
I guess.
Do you know that?
No, I don't know what his role is. And I thought he ran the ball. I don't know if people, I'm not sure what he does.
How many games that Steph Diggs has played in have you attended?
I don't know football. I don't watch it to know what's what. I've attended a couple games.
She's attended a couple of games, but doesn't know what position he plays or what he does, girl. Measure Man said, I'm done. She peed herself and Aunt Flo visited her. Goodbye. I'm out. Fix it, Black Jesus. I'm really out. I'm done. I am too. She needs to be out herself at this point, okay? Thank you for your insight to the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Honey, this is all getting so juicy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give us 10 more minutes, but after that, I have to go for real.
The question was, how many of Stefon Diggs' games have you gone to and watched?
Gone to?
Hold on. Aqua Girl Rising said she needs to be her own psychiatric client. Y'all are brutal. Well, let's continue.
And you don't know that he gets tackled in that game?
This is all crazy. This is just not a good look.
I don't watch it, honestly. I'm just there for the vibes. I don't really know what be going on in football. I don't know the rules.
I think you will agree with me, that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force on your neck,
It was 10 for me. For my little body and what I couldn't breathe, it was a 10 for me.
the question was, estimate the level of pressure that the suspect used during strangulation.
It felt a 10 to me. I could not breathe.
So you chose to answer a different question than the one you were asked.
This questionnaire is about me. Why wouldn't I answer it about me? This is not a questionnaire that's a united, I don't know how to say it, a global, this is about me. This is what happened to me.
Okay. But you will agree with me, hypothetically speaking, if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 strength to choke someone, anyone, that person would have bruises on their neck.
I would not agree.
You will agree that if Stefon Diggs used 10 out of 10 force to choke you, you would have bruises on your neck.
Let me tell you all something. Right now, it's very easy to see that she's getting very annoyed with the line of questioning. She's giving snappy answers. She's being almost to the point of being disrespectful. So if I were his attorney, I would absolutely exploit that. I would start talking to her in a way to really get her razzled. I would be like, so isn't it true that in fact you're upset because X, Y, and Z? Isn't it a fact that you want money from Mr. Diggs that you're not entitled to? I would be talking to her just like that, because that would make her become argumentative and thus cause her to lose more credibility and show that she's one who cannot keep her composure. Okay?
Now, you went to New York, you said, on the evening of December 2nd, true?
True.
And you stayed there until December 9th?
Yes.
You had your phone with you all week?
Yes.
You took messages, you sent text messages?
Yes.
We know that because that's when you started talking.
Measure Man said, did you not want a baby with Mr. Diggs? Did you not have a turkey baster? We are low down for that. Sarita said she's about to crash. She surely is. I see it coming. Miss Construed said, make her crash. Billion X said, go attorney Queen Ahmadiyyah. Mr. Midnight Decider said, Queen on my legal team. Okay, honey, I would be going in, okay? Please.
About your money, right?
I did what?
You testified.
I asked for my money. I didn't talk about my money. I asked for him to have finance sign off to pay me.
My mistake.
Yes, thank you.
We'll get to that money too. And you didn't think it was important to record your injuries or take photos.
No, I was in shock. This is someone that I love that put his hands on me. That was not my first instinct, was to go and take a photo.
Sure. And then
Hold on. That's a good question. J Love the Queen said, but wouldn't that be badgering the witness, Queen? No, no, absolutely not, beloved. You can ask questions in a stern voice. Okay, now badgering the witness is when you really start going in on them. Like if you're being, sarcastic with them or whatever, or you're just like insulting them or just being disrespectful. No, but you can absolutely ask stern questions. Ma'am, isn't it a fact that you're really upset about this whole thing because Stefon didn't give you money that you asked for your business? Okay, isn't that why we're here? You can ask stuff like that, honey. Trust me, it's a thin line, but I know how to walk it. Okay, please pay attention.
And December 3rd, you didn't take any pictures.
No.
And December
A
4th,
very complicated relationship. No, I did not take photos.
and you didn't take any videos.
No.
And you didn't go to the ER.
No.
You didn't go to a walk-in.
You already had paid my medical bills. Why would I go get more medical bills?
Objection, Your Honor. Move to strike.
The answer will be stricken on responsive. Jurors will disregard it and not consider it.
You didn't seek any medical attention, right?
Unpaid medical bills.
Your Honor.
Counsel's like,
She literally looks like she wants to cry. She literally looks like she wants to cry. I almost feel sorry for her, but at the end of the day, I don't believe her story. I don't believe her story. And when there's real victims of DV out here, real victims of assault and all that, I just can't. Okay, that's right. That's what it's coming off as. Misconstrued said a woman scorned. That's exactly what I think it is. That's what it's given. Okay, that's what it's given. All right, Lillian X said another red flag, beloved. Okay, let's continue. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. No bucket her eyes. Y'all are low down. Right, she's coming off as a hostile witness. Exactly. In her own case, no less. I love you too, Cyrus, beloved. This is all crazy. Hold on, what happened to the volume?
To be able to ask you questions.
Okay, I thought I was still answering the first question that you said. You didn't let me finish.
Miss Adams, we're going to take it again, just a question at a time. This is an opportunity for a narrative, and so let her ask her question, all right, and then answer the question. And if there is, if there's a feeling that you're not being allowed to initiate, but just take the question out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You didn't tell them anything about being assaulted.
These are not people I trust to tell anything of that nature to.
They're just people that you trust to spend a week with.
These are people that I met through Stefon Diggs. I had no choice but to stay with them. I had no money.
I thought you just testified you had a ticket to Atlanta.
That Sonny brought.
She said she had no choice but to stay with him because she had no money. What about all those tens of thousands of dollars she was making doing private chef duties for all these celebrities? Math ain't math.
And then you changed on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
And then you changed your ticket to Atlanta to go to New York with
Yes.
Shy and Sonny. I'm sorry, with Shy and Tolly, right?
Yes.
So you did have someplace else to
I
go.
changed the ticket because I didn't have money for Ubers to get home in Atlanta. Shy was going to pick me up from the airport.
Girl.
Okay.
So how are you making $2,000 per week as a chef, but you don't have Uber money? Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? This is all crazy, okay? How do you not have money for an Uber when you're making $2,000 a week? on your back and in the kitchen. Eshko said, I can't believe she's not only talking about the physical assault. This girl is just not telling the truth, in my opinion. It's just coming off as lying.
I didn't have a place to stay, and I given up my place to stay with Stefon Diggs. So I didn't have money for a hotel or Airbnb to go home to Atlanta.
You've traveled with Shy before, right?
Yes,
You went with her to Trinidad and Tobago.
yes,
You're actually friends with her, aren't you?
associates,
Right.
co-workers.
Well, you traveled to another country with Shy.
It's levels to friends. It was a co-worker. I just met Shy in August.
Did Steph go on that trip to Trinidad and Tobago?
No,
Okay. And that was in the fall of 2025.
yes,
And then you went on another trip in the fall of 2025 to see Shy, right?
no, I didn't go on another trip. I was told to leave the house, so I went to stay with Shy because I didn't have anywhere to stay.
Okay. And Shy picked you up in her car, you said?
Yes,
But she just said that she wasn't friends with her and she didn't know her like that. But when you don't have anywhere to go, that's the first person you call. What about family? What about friends? Since you said that's just your coworker, ma'am. Okay, I would be asking some serious questions here.
And can you describe what the inside of her car looks like?
it's a white car. I think it's burgundy or something like that.
So the outside is white?
Yes.
And then the inside is burgundy.
If most as I remember, I can't say exact.
Okay. And Shy has a dash cam right in her car, doesn't she?
Not that I'm aware of.
You didn't see a dash cam in her car?
No, I saw where you see the speedometer and stuff like that.
No, not down on the panel where people look when they're driving. Up on the top of her car. There's a bar on the top of her car with a dash cam on it, right?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that.
No,
Did Shy ever tell you that she had a dash cam in her car?
no,
Okay. Did you know that you were being recorded on that dash cam on December 2nd?
no.
Ooh, plot twist coming. Do y'all hear it? I knew that was coming when she said something about a dash cam. Girl, you were recorded on December the 2nd. Now, was this before or after she alleges that Stefon beat her? Oops, it likely was after because she said when she left, she had nowhere to go. So she called Shy to come pick her up, and that's who she stayed with. So does she have any bruising on the recordings? Ooh, honey, it's about to get really real up in here. Let's continue.
Did you know you were being recorded on December 3rd?
No.
You know now you were recorded, correct?
Yes.
And you've seen the videos that came from Shy's dash cam in her car, true?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen them yet?
No.
Your Honor, permission to publish Exhibit 5. I understand it's
Lord, not Exhibit 5. Oh, Lord, it's going downhill from here, y'all. Please pay attention. Oh, Lord.
Sorry, maybe we've seen it side.
I'm almost scared to even see what Exhibit 5 is. Girl, all crazy. Now, at this point, if I were her and if I knew that I was lying, honey, I would jump up off that seat and run straight for the door. Okay, I would run straight to the exit, okay? Faster than that man dashed past Trump's Secret Service security at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I am done, okay? Out. Girl, don't get caught in a lie. Please don't. I'm so through. Not quite skinny right. You gotta know when to hold them. Oh Lord, please don't let me talk. Y'all, what are we about to witness?
And I believe you testified that you first became aware that there were videos of you last week.
Yes.
No measure, man. I absolutely will not. Talking about Queen block my kids. No, absolutely not.
I don't know, Ms. Adams, were you able to see that person in that video? If not, we can play the whole thing. Okay. So while this is playing, Ms. Adams, do you recognize that person on the video as you?
Yes.
And you're sitting in the front seat of Shai's car?
Yes.
And this is you when you were, just after you were picked up from LaGuardia Airport on December 2nd, right?
Yes.
Was there someone else in the car to your memory?
No.
I'm sorry?
No, not when she picked me up.
Okay. Did Tally Moses also get picked up from LaGuardia just after you?
No, she got picked up with her boyfriend's house in Queens.
Okay. But she was eventually in that car with you. So Shai was driving the car, is that right?
Yes.
And then you're in the front passenger seat as we see you?
Yes.
And then did Tally sit in the back behind you? I'm sorry? Behind Shai? Okay. And this was all on December 2nd?
Yes.
And this is the day you say you were violently assaulted?
Yes, that doesn't justify or prove that I wasn't assaulted because I learned how to save face.
Okay. Mr. Kettlewell, can we also show the next video?
When I'm running hot, this is how I cool down.
Let me tell y'all something. It's nothing worse than getting caught in a lie. Okay, and that's exactly why I don't tell them. That's exactly why I don't tell them, honey, because I don't have time for it. Please pay attention.
Your Honor, just for clarification, there's Exhibit 5, I think it's just a number of videos in one exhibit.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And do you recognize the person in this video?
Yeah.
And that's you in Shai's car again?
Yeah.
And this is the next day, right? It's December 3rd. Do you recognize that? Well, I might not be able to see.
Okay. Nelson G said, why lie?
Mr. Kettlewell, is this marked as Exhibit 5 also?
Oh my goodness.
Those are
6 and 7? I should have been marked as Exhibit 7. Do you recognize that person as you?
Yeah.
And that's you in Shai's car, right? When you visited her in New York City? And you say you don't remember if that's, what date that is? Your Honor, I'm sorry, may I approach one more time? If I could direct your.
I didn't say I didn't remember what date.
Oh.
I can't tell the date. I don't.
You can tell the date. The date is time-stamped on that video. It clearly said December the 3rd. It's the next day after she got yoked up, according to her.
I was in her car. I stayed for another week. Okay. You're telling me it's December 3rd.
If I can direct your attention to this line right here. See how it says 2025-1203? Do you know what that means? Okay. But this is you on your New York trip with Shy in her car.
On New York State.
Okay.
This has not been preliminarily marked. Parties are offering it.
I believe that is intended to be in the thumb drive. It's in the thumb drive separately.
Stills, though, I think Mr. Cook is referencing, have not been going to 667. So if you want to, it's them there.
I have no objection to those stills being marked as 6 and 7.
Thank you.
This would be exhibit 7 at this time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Clerk, and this is,
For the copy for the court.
yes, sir. Exhibit 6.
Not a bruise in sight.
And then you also had some videos taken of you by Tolly while you were in New York, right?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
Do you remember? Well, first, you, Shy, and Tolly all stayed in Brooklyn in New York from December 2nd to December 9th, right?
Yes.
And you all stayed in the same bedroom.
Yes.
Slept in the same bedroom.
Yes.
And we're together a lot of the time that week. True?
Mostly yes.
Okay. And there was one night where you and Tolly were kind of goofing around with the video and taking videos. Do you remember that?
I don't recall it.
Okay. Mr. Kettlewell, can we play Exhibit 8? And, well, before we do, I would move Exhibit 8 into evidence. It's a video from December 6th. Thank you.
Just no objection to that for the record.
And Ms. Adams, did you recognize the person on that video?
Yes.
Who is that?
Me.
And that's in Shy's bedroom, right?
Yes.
Where you and Tolly and Shy spent the entire week, right?
Majority Tally would sleep on the couch some days.
I'm sorry?
Tally would sleep on the couch some days.
Okay. But in that video, that was Tolly was videoing you, right?
Okay. I don't recall that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, but we were up there.
Mr. Kettlewell, and Your Honor, I would move in Exhibit 9, which is another video from that same time, December 6th, 2025.
That's still for the record. I believe it's also.
Thank you, Judge.
Y'all, she is straight up busted, girl. Not out there dancing, but her neck and shoulder and everything hurts. It's not looking good, beloveds.
And Your Honor, I would move in stills as Exhibit 9 and 10. Those are stills from Exhibit 8.
No objection.
And Ms. Adams, I just ask you to look at those and tell me if that's a fair and accurate representation of you from the week you spent in New York.
That day, yes.
On December 6th, 2025?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I publish to the jury? Thank you.
Just for the record.
I am offering to the jury exhibits 9 and 10, which are 2 stills taken from the second video of exhibit 8.
No objection.
So no markings on her neck whatsoever. None. Wow.
More video. Counsel, you'll please hear. Put the lights back.
I think we can put the lights back on, Your Honor. Now, Steph and his group got back from Miami to his Dedham home on December 7th, correct?
I'm not sure the day he got back. I got back on the night.
I'm sorry?
Tuesday. Well, it was late in the night. Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The night I got back.
Well, you know he got back to the Dedham house before you did.
I didn't know that. When I got there, I realized that he was there. I was in no communication with him on what day he was coming back.
But you were in communication with him.
To ask for my pay, yes.
Can you turn to tab C, which has been marked as exhibit 3, please? And you testified about the text exchange you had with him at around 12:30 on December 2nd, where you called him a pussy, right?
Yes.
And then he said, show me if I'm pussy, and you said, will do.
Yes.
Right? And then if you turn the page, if you look to the next message from you, so in exhibit 3, there are bubbles, right? There's blue bubbles you see and green bubbles.
Yes.
And do you understand the green bubble to be Steph Diggs' messages?
Yes.
And the blue bubbles to be your messages?
Yes.
Okay. And if you look on the page, I hope you're on the right page, it ends in that number on the bottom right corner at 118. Do you see that number? Madam, may I approach?
Yes.
So 117, the page we just looked at. Looking at 118, your first message. And do you see down here these numbers here?
Yes.
So this message was sent on December 5th, correct?
Yes.
And you sent it.
Yes.
So now this is 3 days after the violent assault that you talked about. Right?
Yes.
And what did you say in that message?
How can you approve my pay with finance, please? I have to pay my insurances this month. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Okay. And then if you could look at the next message. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's hold that for a second. So you were texting with Steph Diggs in the week you were in December. I'm sorry, in the week in December, you were in New York, right?
I text Stefon one time.
Okay. But your testimony is you don't know when he was coming back to the Dedham house.
I didn't. I didn't know the exact date.
You didn't. But you knew he was coming back.
Yes.
Because that would be important to know, right?
I've worked in this industry. I went off of a previous client schedule. They normally will return on Tuesday. So
Well,
I was in guest mode.
But the last time you saw Steph Diggs was when he was assaulting you, you said.
I saw Steph Diggs. I said here that I walked in his room after the assault before I was leaving to give him his birthday gift.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay. You gave him a birthday gift after the assault happened.
We were friends for 4.5 years with a very complicated relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, we know it was complicated. You were sleeping with him, according to you. But who gives a gift to somebody that yoked them up by their neck and left their face red and their shoulders and neck in pain and their throat hurting? Okay, with a level 10 pressure applied. Like, make it all make sense.
So if I could ask you actually to turn to Exhibit 4, which is behind the tab D. And Your Honor, this is an evidence. And if you look at that number on the bottom right corner, turn to the page that ends in 173. And I'll ask you some questions before we get to that substance, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think you testified on December 9th you went back to the Dedham house, right?
Yes.
And you got yourself an airplane back to Boston, right?
Sonny got me an airplane back to Boston.
Okay. And you landed at Logan Airport at night.
Yes.
Then you took an Uber to the Dedham house.
Yes.
You arrived around 11:30 p.m.
Yes.
You were alone.
Yes.
You came by yourself.
Yes.
Didn't bring anybody.
No.
Okay. And when you got in the house, you went and knocked on Steph's bedroom door.
I went to put my things away and I knocked on his door. Yes.
I'm sorry.
I went to put my things away and knocked at his door.
And that was around midnight on changing over from December 9th to December 10th, right?
That's what it says here. I don't recall the time. This is what the messages say.
Well, he didn't open his door, did he?
His code was different. He changed the codes when I came back.
Right. Because in that house, the bedrooms all had key codes on each door, didn't
That he
they?
controlled. Yes.
Did the bedrooms all have key codes on that door?
Yes, that he controlled.
I'm sorry. This is a yes or no question. See if you can try it. Did all of the bedrooms in that house have different key codes on them?
Yes, that he controlled.
So you can.
What do you mean?
You had a key code on your door, right?
Yes.
And if it was shut, it would be locked, right?
No. The door had issues. I would often text Sunny, could she check and make sure my door was locked?
I'm sorry, when did you text Sunny to please check if your door was locked?
When I left the first week of November, when he made me leave to have female guests over.
Your Honor, let's check.
That answer is no responsive will be stricken and the jury will disregard.
So on December 9th, round about midnight, when you got back to his house alone, you went and knocked on his door, right?
Yes.
And he didn't open it.
I didn't knock. I tried to get in the door.
Okay, you tried to walk into his door.
No, that's how I would go in his room. I would unlock his door.
Sure, just like always, right?
When he needs food and his door was closed, I would go in his room.
Right.
I never went in his room without permission.
You going in there on December 9th is no different than any other day, right?
No.
And when you weren't able to get in, you actually sent him a text message, right?
Yes.
And you told him, can you read what you told him?
I was coming to ask you what time you have to be at work and to say hi.
And then you just went right back to work, right?
Yeah, I went to bed.
I'm sorry?
I went into my room and went to bed.
You went into your room and you went to sleep?
Yes.
By yourself?
Yes.
In the house?
Yes.
With Steph Diggs there?
Yes.
And then the next morning you got up and you made him breakfast?
Yes.
Now you told Officer Ellis when you reported the assault that you left your position on December 2nd. Do you remember that?
I was saying I left the house. I didn't leave my position. I was really going back to get my things. I had no plan, with nowhere to go, so I needed to be nice there.
Now she wants us to feel sorry for her. I had no plans, nowhere to go, so I needed to be nice to him. Girl, bye. You didn't have any family or friends you could have gone and stayed with. You didn't have any money to get a hotel or an Airbnb after making $2,000 per week. And then here's the thing. You were gonna walk into his room without knocking, right? She said she tried to get into his room, but then she also said that she never entered his room without permission. Well, clearly that night he didn't give her permission, but she tried to get in. Okay, please pay attention. Okay, pay attention to the little things because they add up. Kind of special delivery.
Did you tell Officer Ellis after the alleged assault on 12/2/2025, Adams left her position and left the residence to stay with a friend in New York?
Left my position mean I left to get on a plane and go. I didn't tell him I could.
Girl, left your position means you left the job. Who does she think she's playing semantics with? Do y'all hear this? Left her position means that she left to go? No, that means not the. What is she trying to make us think? That she was talking about the position that she was sitting or standing in? Okay, and not her job? Girl, you said you left your position and you clearly lied. Okay, let's continue. We have about 2 more minutes because it's almost 11.
That didn't mean that I quit.
You didn't quit.
No.
Did you tell Officer Ellis that on 12/9/2025, you returned to the house just to get your property?
Dare to smell, nair, like.
That's exactly what she told the officer, that she went there on the 9th to get her property. That's exactly what she said. And she didn't mention anything about still working for him or having to feel like she had to be nice.
But you were also going to work for a while first.
Basically, I was going to get my property. I was trying to get my money. I asked Mr. Diggs the next day about my money when I returned to the house.
And you kept on cooking and doing your job for a whole nother week, didn't you?
No, I stopped cooking. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't cook over the weekend because I said on the 11th, I asked Mr. Diggs in front of his mother and Shy Charles about my pay.
Okay.
That was another text.
I'll ask a different question.
Okay.
On several days of that week, you simply kept doing your job, right?
And asking for my pay.
That's a yes or no question now.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You kept doing your job.
Yes.
Officer Ellis was wrong when he wrote that you left your position on 12/2.
I left the house, so him putting position didn't mean that I left my job as a chef. I left the house on December 2nd.
So you told.
If she left the house, she would have just said, I left the house. If you say, I left my position, that means you left your job.
Officer Ellis, that you left your position, but you meant you left the house to go to New York.
So I left for the day. It wasn't that I was saying I quit or saying it in a way that I quit my job. I didn't say that.
Also, another thing it's important to note is that she said that when she came back and, and she spent the night and cooked for him and all of that, she said she had to be nice to him because she had nowhere to go. But then you go and file a police report days later. That's because you were mad. Okay, that's what it was. Ladies, sit down somewhere.
You've mentioned Mr. Diggs' assistant, Sunny, a couple of times, right?
Stealing Sunny, yes.
I'm sorry?
Stealing Sunny, that's what he calls her.
Your Honor, I moved to strike, and I'd ask that the witness be instructed
Now she's trying to spill tea on him, talking about he called her stealing Sunny. Girl, you are making yourself look so bad. Do you all see this? She is making herself look so bad because all the stuff you're doing to try to make him look bad is backfired on you. You should have just said yes or no or whatever. But now she's trying to throw in little jabs at him. Honey, this is not going to work in your favor. I assure you it is not. Especially if I was his attorney. Girl, you would be cooked. Okay, fried. All of the above.
Please answer a question.
That answer will be certain in the jurisprudence required. Then if you don't understand the question, please ask the counsel to restate it.
Thank you, Anna. Sunny was a friend of yours, wasn't she?
No.
Ms. Adams, you texted Sunny all the time, didn't you?
Because that was my contact. Go to contact for payment, go to contact if I didn't have access to his card or I didn't have no money on my card.
Okay, we're going to stop it right here and pick up tomorrow where we left off. But mind you, she's saying that she texts her all the time because that was her contact. Okay, that was her contact. That was her go-to person. But she's really trying to distance herself from these other women as it pertains to her having like relationships outside of just being co-workers with them. Now, I don't know why she's doing that. Maybe because she thinks they're going to come in and testify against her. I don't know. But nonetheless, this is not giving good energy. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece. This time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen.